All right, welcome to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame banquet. This is our 54th banquet. I'm certainly glad you came to honor this great class of 2024. And what I'd like to do now is introduce our MC for tonight, Jay Ferguson. I'm sure that he will explain why he is here, up here, rather than sitting where he usually seats. Here's Jay.
Thank you very much, Tom. It's great to be here. I really question the future of the Hall of Fame, an organization that started with Joe Tate and went to Tim Alcorn, and now I'm here. So let's try and keep this going. First thing on the agenda is a special introduction, and I'd like to call your attention to the video boards.
Hello, check 1 2, check 1 2. You got me, Joe Bach?
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
We good? Where's Cliff, by the way?
Not here.
He said he won't be here till about noon, maybe.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
You good?
Yep.
Am I good?
Good.
Okay. The hell's this? The hell is this?
Let's have a seat. Stand over there, please. Off to the side.
What the hell is that? What are you doing?
Just shut up. Good evening. It's our honor to induct a special person in Lorain County, City of Lorain, Northeast Ohio. The current member of the Cleveland Cavaliers broadcast crew. Tim, you have done so much and done so many things for athletes, both male and female, We are honored, and I am honored that I was asked to do this because I've known you for a long time. You've done an amazing job with the City of Lorain. WEOL, starting with WOBL. We have a bio that will be read at the banquet tomorrow night. It'll be done by Jay Ferguson, but we wanted to present you with a few things because of your greatness. So if I can get you to come out here, please. Wow. And this is your jacket. You don't know it.
Oh, it fits.
I know. Jared?
Wow. Am I supposed to hold this up?
Yes. Okay. Now Joe Bach has put together an amazing slideshow. So if you want to you can come out here and have a seat and look at the monitor, one of the monitors. And I think you'll be totally impressed by what he's done with Jared's help and everyone else in the city.
Hello everybody and welcome to high school football on WLCS. I'm Tim Alcorn and I'll be bringing you today's game. It's an Erie Shores Conference matchup as the Admirals from Admiral King will be taking on the Steelmen from Lorain High School.
Harris deep in the eye, gets the handoff, looking for room over left tackle, gets inside to the 20, to the 15, and he is gone. 10-5, touchdown, Raymond Harris. Clock under 7 minutes, handoff goes to Harris over left tackle, 35-30, breaks outside and he's gone. 10-5, touchdown, Raymond Harris. 5 touchdowns on the night.
Detroit Country Day with an opportunity to play for the win. They trail by 1, 60-59. Weber on the right wing, 3 in the air, good! 10 seconds to go. Torrance on the dribble into the forecourt, right side to Taylor. He'll shoot the 3. Got it! Taylor hit the 3! Taylor hit the 3! 62-60. The Admirals lead it. Oh my, Doug Taylor hit a bomb from downtown Erie. 63-62. 1.5 seconds to go. Again, Dill will try to inbound. Hannibal will play on him. Dill looking. There's the long pass. Got it into Mansell. Turns, shoots, misses. The Admirals win it. The Admirals win it 63-62. Wow, what a frantic game, but I'll tell you what, a thrilling win for you and your basketball team. Congratulations.
Tim, for one time, I think I'm speechless here. I tell you, that is an unbelievable win for the basketball program, and even for the city of Lorain and Lorain County basketball in general. To come in here and knock off the number 8 team in the country is just an unbelievable feeling.
But Lorain High locked up in a good one, 14-14. The Titans and the Celtics here at Mansfield Madison. Sturgill gave it to Chavis again. Chavis with room. He's to the 35-40. Look out! Down the right side. 40, 30. He's to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. And Carlos Chavis takes it to the house. And the Lorain side erupts. A 75-yard jaunt to Pater. Carlos Chavis has put the Titans in the lead. And Lorain with a 3rd and 7 at the Celtic 11-yard line. Sturgill takes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he's in for the touchdown. How about Justin Sturgill scampering in from 11 yards out? 4th and 3. Again, that's why I'm not the coach. Sturgill awaits the snap. Sturgill, a little reverse play to Zion Cross. Look out! He's to the 45, to the 40. Zion Cross dragged down from behind at the 35-yard line. And that's why Dave McFarland is one of the premier coaches, not only in Northeast Ohio, but the state. You've got 3 yards to go. You've got a state champ in the 100 meters. Get the football to that kid and get him in space.
Boy, it looks like we're going to have a long 51-yard field goal attempt from A.J. Smith. The kick is up. It's going to be far short. And now Lorain's going to field it. Out to the 10, looking for room. 15, 20, to the 25, to the 30, 35, 40. Chavis to the 45, cuts back to the 50. Carlos Chavis still on the move. Chavis breaks a tackle. He's to the 35. He's to the 30. They won't catch him. Chavis, 10, 5. And he is in for the touchdown. Can you believe it?
Oh, man.
Carlos Chavis on a missed field goal takes it coast to coast, and Lorain High now leads it.
TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. They've tied into our audio tonight. Carlos Chavis heads to the bench. They start the clock. A little razzle-dazzle. They give it to Deshaun Brooks. He's going to float it down the left side. Has Zion Cross. 40. Cross to the 25, 20, 15, and he's dropped from behind. No, the 100-meter champ almost took it to the house, but Lorain High will have their shot.
Yes.
They ran the reverse to Deshaun Brooks, and Brooks threw it down the field to Zion. I said if you've got some trickery, now's the time to utilize it.
And there it was.
And Lorain in business. They'll get some cracks at it at the 14-yard line.
Eagles by 7. Division I regional semi here in Akron. Grant 3. Good! Devon Grant buried another one. And it's 47-43. Lorain within 4. Right wing Dow with a 3. Missed it. Rebound knocked out front. Davis has it for Lorain. Throws it down the floor to Weatherington. Weatherington left corner Sledge. 3. Good! Sledge hit a 3-ball. It's a Saturday night repeat. Sledge with a big 3 in the 3rd. It's a 1-point game. 47-46. A steal by Lorain. Davon Pierre-Lewis, top of the key, right corner, 3 up. Good! Sledge hit a 3. History repeating itself. The Titans lead it. 49-47. Grant on the right wing. St. Ed's is at 14 fouls. Grant 3. We're tied! We're tied! Grant at the 3. We're tied up. 60-60. 20 seconds to go. Boy, Lorain, if they are to hold on and win this game, it truly will send shockwaves throughout the state of Ohio. Foster to the forecourt. Foster out front. He'll shoot to 3. No good. Rebound grab. Left side Blanton. His 3. No good. Lorain's going to go for a final 8. 3-ball from the corner. They'll count it. But Lorain wins it. Lorain wins it. 72-69. It is Titan pandemonium here in Akron. Who would have believed it except for the guys in blue? Lorain will play in the regional final Saturday afternoon in Toledo. An unbelievable win in the history of Lorain basketball. Left wing, Grant, 3-ball. Good! Devon Grant. Oh, he loves tournament time. Devon Grant hits the 3. Lorain with the basketball. Davis on the floor with 3 fouls. Left side, Jackson, 3-ball. Good! Oh, what a game for the sophomore. He's in double figures with 10. Here comes Lorain with a 1-point lead. Grant on the right wing with a stutter step against King. Step back, jumper. Good! Devon Grant! Oh, he's special. St. John's by 1. Out front, 3. Good! Oh, my! Devon hit it from Bowling Green. Little crossover dribble. Grant to the baseline. Now backs up. Now spins to the baseline. He'll shoot it. He'll hit it. Devon Grant putting on a show in Toledo. Ryan Christie, the 6'1 senior, looking. Pass stolen away by Davis. Davis stole the ball for Lorain. The Titans have it. And a timeout taken by Lorain. Cameron Davis stole the ball. Lorain has it. 4.2 to go. Christie runs it, throws it into Williams. Williams got it, and he threw it behind Christie. And the buzzer sounds. That's the ball game. That's the ball game. Lorain is Final Four bound. The ball got away in the backcourt. Unbelievable. The Titans are heading to Columbus. Can you believe it? They have come to Savage Hall. And they have knocked off Toledo St. John's 47-44. What an unbelievable story. And the Titans will play at least one more. They're heading to Columbus for a game on Friday against Cincinnati Moeller. Lorain gets it into Whitehead. Whitehead with 3, with 2, half-court shot. Good at the buzzer! Good at the buzzer! Titans win! Titans win! Aaron Whitehead, a 3-point half-court shot at the buzzer.
This week on Sports Scene is the head football coach of the Clearview Clippers, Tom Hoke. Of course, they finished up their season with a 7-3 record. Tom, it seems as though schools, will rise for a few years and then flatten off, then maybe go down, then rise again. How have you at Clearview been able to keep that level of success at such a high level over so many years?
Basically, it's been 2 things. Number one, the kids have to have a desire, because I remember hearing this when I was a kid and first started coaching. It's a lot easier to get there than stay there, and that's true. And I have to talk every week, or anybody I talk to, about, boy, everybody is out to get you. I mean, it's almost a mental impossibility to get them up every week. That's what we work on, the mental aspect, and our coaching staff has stayed in track for so long.
You've been around a long time. What keeps it enjoyable for you? What keeps you coming back every July and August for conditioning and 2-a-days? And for some coaches, it gets to be a real grind. I've talked to a lot of guys in the area that say, it really gets to be old after a while, but you've been going at it a long time.
Now, I felt that way a couple of years ago. I really was very, very close to say, I'm going to sit back and let somebody else do it. And then our 10-0 team made it fun. It was just fun again. And I think that if I had to pinpoint one thing, it's just being around the kids. I mean, if I look at everything else, it's just being there with the kids. The players, there's always something new every day. It's like teaching. There's always something new that's going to occur every day.
Well, hi again, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Sports Scene here on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. I'm Tim Elkhorn with AM 930 WEOL Radio, and for years and years and years, we've had Joe Tate come out to Lorain to talk about Cavalier basketball and, at times, Rocker basketball on Sports Scene from our home at the Charleston Center. Well, this year we thought we'd reverse roles and we'd come down to Joe's home turf, per se. We're here at Gund Arena, and once again, Joe Tate is our guest on Sports Scene, but obviously from a different venue. But Joe, as always, we welcome you to the program.
Thank you. Now, does this mean you're going to tell me all about the Cavaliers and I just sit here and look stupid? You said we reversed roles.
Oh, my. You got to get your shot in the very first minute, for Pete's sake.
Well, Wally's not here. You're an available target.
Well, I must say that if you're going to get shots in, that is certainly a lively-looking sweater you got there, Joe. Now, what's up with that?
It's the one that came out of the closet. Leaped right out at me.
Oh, it leaped all right. It's vibrant. All right, well, they're getting ready to play some basketball here. I know you got work to do. As always, my friend, good to see you.
Thanks, Tim.
We love the sweater.
Thank you.
And maybe we'll do this a few more times as we come down to your place to do Sports Scene.
Anytime, you're always welcome.
Sounds good. Our guest this week on Sports Scene, for Lord knows how many times now, Joe Tate, the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, glad we could bring it to you here from Gund Arena. I guess the national anthem means we got to go. So for Joe Bach, Jillian Van Wagenen running the cameras, and for Joe Tate, I'm Tim Elkhorn. We'll talk to you again next week. So long, everybody.
The reason we showed a video of Tim Alcorn talking about Lorain and their football and basketball when we have 19 tables of Clearview football players over there. Everyone knows Tim is now working for the Cavaliers. And when he went in for his interview, he showed a film of him doing a basketball game. Of course, it was a basketball game from two Lorain County teams, and he wasn't favoring either team. The Cavs say, "You don't get excited enough. How can we hire you? You're not exciting. We need someone who gets excited about Cavaliers basketball." And Tim says, "Well, if you want excitement, I'm going to show you some Lorain games." That was his interview tape, and that's what got him the job with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, now you saw Tim's play-by-play for football, basketball for Lorain, and his interview with some of the sports celebrities. I hope you liked the Tom Hoke one. But what the videos didn't show you is how many times he worked this Hall of Fame banquet and all the things he did for us. He started out years and years and years ago doing the Yulin presentations for the scholarships and the all-state players. Then he worked his way until the MC job came open when Joe Tate retired. Then he became our MC. So he worked tirelessly for this Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. That's why he's a special inductee for us. Now, he's doing a Cavs game tonight. That's why he's not here. But I think if his live streaming is working, he might be watching. So let's give Tim Alcorn a big round of applause, please. Now, let's get on with the program. Welcome again for being here tonight. And don't remember to honor your mom tomorrow, Mother's Day. All right. The Hall of Fame was founded 55 years ago, and this is our 54th Enshrinement Banquet. The purpose of the Hall is to select the greatest sports figures that come out of the city of Lorain, and then to give them a banquet to honor them. 407 individuals have been inducted into this Hall of Fame, and 41 teams have been inducted. The Clearview football team will be our 42nd team. You can see those inductees on page 3 and 6 in your program, if you care to look and see who's been here before. Some of those athletes are here with us tonight. With all those Hall of Fame individuals who've been previously inducted, please stand up. Please stand up. I know there's some football players over there. Please still stay standing. Has anybody here been inducted with one of the great teams that's been inducted? You see, the city of Lorain is filled with great athletes. Thank you. Now, that was the past. let's get on with the present. I'd like to point out that the videos you're going to see when these inductees here stand up to the podium, they are congratulations to very important people in their life. They were kept a secret from the inductees. No inductee knows who is going to do some congratulations. They were meant for them. Some inductees from the past years have said the videos that they've seen from their family members, their coaches, their teachers, were the best part of their banquet experience. Please enjoy the videos with them. Now I'd like to introduce our inductees. Sitting first, Jason Duvall. Would you please stand? With his wife, Sarah. Jason was a baseball star at Lorain Catholic and St. Xavier University. Next, have Jonathan J.T. Feldkamp and his wife, Carrie. J.T. was a three-sport star at Admiral King, and he specialized at baseball at Ohio Dominion University. Next on my left, I have Ryan McCartney and his wife, Jessica. Ryan was the #1 singles tennis player at Admiral King, and he did about the same during his career at Baldwin-Wallace University. After moving from tennis, he got into long-distance running and became the best marathon runner ever from the history of Lorain. Next to him is Jeff Perkins. And you see Jeff brought a crowd with him. Jeff was a star football player at Southview. Then he got into weightlifting and to stay in conditioning for football. He set 2 state records during his high school days. He moved on to rugby after enrolling in the University of Akron. Jeff is the first rugby player ever to be inducted into this Hall of Fame. To my right again, Matt Rossitano, sitting with his father, Dave Rossitano. Matt also was a 3-sport star at Admiral King. Then he specialized in baseball at Bowling Green University. Next, George Furlick, his wife Lorain. George played both football and basketball at Admiral King, and then at the University of Dayton, Division I school, he played football. To my left again, John Sally with his wife Tammy. John played both basketball and football at Clearview. At Heidelberg University, he specialized in basketball. After moving back to Lorain, after college, he coached both football and basketball for a while until he became the head coach in basketball until he retired. One of the best basketball player ever. Excuse me, Mike Walsh. From the history of Clearview. Tom Hoke is here represented by his wife Dory and his son Andrews. Tom was the football coach and AD at Clearview High School. Let's get on with the program. Could you please sit down, please?
At this time, a few words from our president, Mike Smith.
Hello, everybody. The program says I have a statement to make. Unless you want me to read the minutes from every meeting we've had in the last year, I'm probably just going to skip all that, if that's all right with you. I would like to congratulate all the 2024 inductees. I'd like to thank everyone tonight for this great turnout. I invite you to turn page 11 in your program. We had 3 members that passed away the last year. Kurt Schumacher was the class of, see if I can, 88. We got Ken Farsman was the class of 94. Roger Farr was the class of 93. I would just like to take a moment of silence for those 3 individuals. Thank you. I would like to now introduce the Mayor of Lorain, the Honorable Jack Bradley.
So I just want to tell all the inductees that Tom Bauer promised me that if you get inducted into the Hall of Fame, you will not be recalled. Okay? In any event, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed inductees and honored guests. It's my privilege to welcome you to this year's Lorain Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Tonight we gather to celebrate the remarkable achievements of athletes, coaches, and contributors who have left a lasting impact on the world of sports in Lorain. Their dedication, passion, and perseverance have not only elevated the game, but have also inspired individuals in our community and beyond. Let us take a moment to reflect on the rich sporting heritage of Lorain and the indelible mark each has made. Their stories are not just about athletic prowess, they are tales of character, resilience, and community. These exceptional athletes have set standards showing us the profound impact of sportsmanship both on and off the field. Let's applaud their outstanding contributions and cherish this opportunity to honor the legacy and the spirit of excellence they receive. So everyone take their glass, and let's raise our glass to these new inductees, celebrating their past achievements and the many ways they will continue to inspire future generations. Thank you all for joining us for this memorable celebration. Salute.
He stole my thunder. I was going to say I can't recall hearing such inspiring words. If you look at your program, you'll see that the next line item is the Uland Award, and it says presented by Jim Popeil. Unfortunately, Pope took a tumble this past week and had surgery for a broken hip, I believe, and is unable to be here, but we do want everyone in the hall to keep him in their thoughts and wish him well. So Tom Bauer will be pinch hitting.
The J. Ed Uland Memorial Award was originated in 1974 by the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame to recognize outstanding male and female student athletes from participating high schools. Now, back in those days, it was Lorain Senior, Clearview, Admiral King, Southview, and Lorain Catholic. Some changes in the Uland history. Lorain Senior closed its doors in 1995. So the award is down now to 4 schools. In 2002, the decision was made to give the award an accompanying scholarship to 2 students, a boy and a girl. But shortly after that, Lorain Catholic was finished, and the schools left were Clearview, Admiral King, and Southview. 2010 saw Admiral King and Southview merge into the new Lorain Titans. So now we're at the present situation where we have Lorain and Clearview. The procedure for selecting the students has always been the same. The participating school's faculty chooses the students. Now it's a male and a female from each school. Then the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame Committee votes on one boy and then one girl to receive an additional $500, because everybody you'll see here tonight will be awarded $500 scholarship. Then the two voted in will receive an additional $500. The committee selects the additional winners based on 3 criteria: their academic participation, their academic standings, and also their community service. And now it's time to meet this year's Yulin Scholarship winners. Will the students please come up front? These students were great scholar athletes, and they participated in many things and were awarded many honors. I will try to hit the highlights in some of their high school achievements. You can turn to page 39 in your program to see their complete resume. Let's go ladies first. First on our list is Eva Bender from Clearview. Eva ranked 4th out of 111. Eva played volleyball for 3 years. Her team honors were Most Valuable Player, Scholar Athlete, and Defensive Player of the Year. Some of her academic achievements were First Team, All County, County and District All-Star, and she was a holiday walk volunteer. Eva plans to attend Kent State University and major in psychology. Our next female is Brianna Goodman from Lorain High. She ranked 4th out of 459 students. Brianna played soccer for all 4 years and softball for 1. Her sports award were Best Defender in Soccer for 2 years and second team All Lake Erie League. Her academic achievements were All Academic in Soccer, and she was a member of the National Honor Society. Brianna was in the marching band for 4 years. She plans on attending Lorain County Community College for a degree in nursing. Now let's take a look in the envelope, and the winner will be the additional scholarship. If I can find the envelopes. No one in this hall knows who won this award. It's been kept a secret for the last 2 months. Scholarship recipient. Here's a letter to her. Dear Brianna Goodman, to obtain your scholarship, please see Mr. Corey. He'll have your money. Thank you, Brianna.
I'm truly honored to earn this scholarship today. I would like to thank the Lorain High Hall of Fame Committee for this honor. I would also like to thank my coaches for pushing me through these seasons after COVID and everything and keeping me going. And I would like to thank my mom and dad for always keeping me going after the hard years. So thank you.
Next up are the gentlemen, and our first one is Evan Rikovic from Lorain High School. Evan is ranked 13th out of 459 students. He played football for 3 years and was on the bowling team for 1. His football honors were first team All Lake Erie League, first team All County both his junior and senior year. He was also honorable mention All State. Evan educational accomplishments saw him in the National Honor Society for 2 years, and he got the Titan Scholar Athlete Award. His community services are so numerous. Please turn to page 13 to read them. But most notable, this affected me a lot, he accompanied special needs students to the Cleveland Zoo. Evan's plans for college, thank you for the applause. Evan's plans for college is Ohio University to major in journalism, news, and information. The second male student is Aiden Cruz from Clearview High School. Aiden's rank within the senior class is number 1 out of 111 students. He is a true multi-sport athlete: football, basketball, baseball, and track. His athletic accomplishments are numerous. I'll give the highlights. For basketball, honorable mention All Lorain County League. Baseball, second team All Lorain County League. Most notable, though, is in football, Defensive Player of the Year in the league, county, and district. And as a topper, he was first team All-Ohio. Aiden has been selected to play in the North-South game. Academically, he was a scholar athlete, and as I mentioned before, first in his class. He helped younger children with their sports training by umping Little League games and working at T3 with these youngsters. Aiden will attend Lorain Community and Tri-C for medical work. Let me get the envelope for the males. Ullin Scholarship recipient. It says, Dear Aiden Cruz. So Aiden was the winner of the additional scholarship. Now, I was just told when I asked the students back earlier today if they see Aiden coming in, come send him up to talk to me, but I found out Aiden is at his prom tonight. Oh. But he still gets a scholarship. Kids, thank you very much. You all were well deserving.
When a volunteer organization has been around for 54 years, there are a lot of people who have been involved for a long time with a great deal of time and effort. And I would like to ask Larry Reardon to come forward and recognize one of them.
Good evening. First, before we get to the Distinguished Service Award, I would like, is Cliff German available? I wish he can come into the hall. As you can see, this evening wouldn't have happened without Cliff and his great staff. So if we can get a round of applause for Cliff, every year he is just top notch. Second of all, if I can have all advisory committee members and committee members please stand so you can be recognized by this fine crowd. This evening couldn't have happened without these gentlemen. We do golf outings, we do steak fries, we do other things. It cannot be done, and this evening would never have happened without these wonderful people. Can I give them a round of applause? If I can have Brian Corey and Mike Collier please stand up. As Tom just did, we did the awards for our fine athletic and academic scholars. This wouldn't have happened without these two fine athletic directors. They get us all the information we need, all the statistics, all the accomplishments, and then we go ahead and vote on it. But everything couldn't have been done with these fine athletic directors from Lorain and Clearview. Can I please give them a round of applause? If I can have the ribbons, please stand. They are kind enough to let us hold 10 meetings a year at their facility without any cost. That is a great determination on their part, dedication, and this evening wouldn't have happened without them also. Can I give them a round of applause? Okay, now we're going to try to get through this. The gentleman we are here to honor tonight has been an honorary committeeman for approximately 35 years. He was the vice president in 1992, leading his way to being installed as the president of the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame in 1993. Steve has had such an effect on the association in dealing with the bylaws as well as the preparation for all events, such as the annual steak fry and golf outing. Most importantly, he's had a resounding effect on his family. Steve's a good friend of mine, so he had a lot of personal issues dealing with death in the family and his wonderful love of his life being in a home because of some issues. He's a proud father of 3 children, Mary Jo, Stephen, and David, and the love of a life, like I just mentioned, Joanne, whom he constantly cares for daily for her time in her time of need. With that said, the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame would like to honor Steve Dury as a 2024 Distinguished Service Award winner. Steve Dury, congratulations.
Why'd you guys do this to me? 65 years ago, I got a phone call. I just got out of the Army. My friend says, "Do you have a teaching job?" And I said, "No, I don't." He said, "Well, talk to this man." And I spoke to a gentleman from Lorain here, the assistant superintendent, and he said, "Come up for an interview." I said, "I don't have a transcript." He said, "Don't worry about it. We'll hire you." So now I had to find out where the hell is Lorain, Ohio. I came from southwestern Pennsylvania, hotbed of athletics, many, many Hall of Fame quarterbacks and such. That's beside the point. But a friend of mine says, "You're going to Lorain, Ohio?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "My God," he said, "Lorain has a hell of a football team up there called Clearview Lorain." I said, "Whoa, I didn't know that." And then my father said, "Do you remember when I took you to a football game to see McKeesport High School play Lorain, Ohio in McKeesport, Pennsylvania?" I said, "No." Well, they had an annual back and forth contest, both steel mill towns. And I find out over the 65 years how many athletes have come out of this community. It's unbelievable. When you think back that the very first basketball state champion, Class A basketball team, was Lorain, Ohio. They defeated Bellevue in a nail-biter. They were down by 7 points going into the final quarter, and they won 15-14. So nothing like the coaches over here. But Lorain, we've had so many great high school senior kids making All-Ohio, All-American in college, All-Pro, the Super Bowl champions. And we've also had an Olympic alternate not long ago. So when you talk about sports in a community, Lorain High School ranks second to nobody. And I want to thank you very much for just asking me to do this, I guess.
They're your glasses.
A little later, you'll meet the star football player, Otis Jenkins, with the rest of the 73 football team. Otis Jenkins, at this time, I'd like to invite the Reverend Otis Jenkins to come up, the star Reverend Otis Jenkins to come up, to do our invocation and grace to start off our dinner proceedings. Thank you. Otis. Otis, I thought you were faster than this.
We all used to be fast. Yeah, we all used to be. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, the other day, one of my grandchildren asked me a question, and that question was, why don't you have teeth in your mouth? And I told him when I get up in front of a big crowd like this, I ain't got to worry about biting my tongue. Amen. But there's one thing I must do. I got to do it. Ms. Hope, could you please stand up? Thank you for allowing Tom to be a part of our lives. He was a good friend of mine also, and I never met you, but I had to take a good look at you, and I understand now why he chose you. Amen. You know, I had wrote something out real quick before I do the invitation, but I forgot it. But I learned something in the midst of forgetting, because now I realize the more I forget, the less I got to do. And one more thing I want to say, I'm a blessed man to be a reverend, showing people the right way of life, you know, how to live right. But in the midst of being blessed, you know, tomorrow is Mother's Day. And I have to thank God because tomorrow on Mother's Day, I get to see my mother because she's 91 years old. And then second of all, I appreciate, you know, everybody saying how good an athlete I was, but you know, everybody needs somebody to get them where they need to be. And I'm still blessed twice because the one that helped me to be a good athlete is sitting in this room right now, Mr. Walsh and Mr. Ross. That's who got me to be where I am today. Because, you know, last year this time, I was on my sick bed. And I didn't know if I was going to make it or not. But God got me back up to be here tonight to give this invitation. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come again, Lord, to say thank you. Just thanking you for another day. Thanking you for our early rising. And Lord, we're living in a world of confusion. We're living in a world of dying. But I'm so glad that you are a risen Savior that's still alive, that's still able to bless, being able to keep. and to show love. So I ask you right now, in the name of Jesus, bless everyone that's here today under the sound of my voice. You are a good God. And I stopped by just to say thank you for all that you have done for me in my life and for all that you're going to do for everyone else that's in this room. Father, I come today to give you praise, to give you glory, and to give you honor. Because truly you are worthy to be praised. So I thank you and I praise you. In Jesus' name I pray, and bless the food as we get ready to eat and enjoy. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Amen.
Okay, we're going to get started. Before dinner, you saw the presentation to Tim Alcorn. Let me tell you a little bit about Timmy. Tim made his way to Northern Ohio at age 16, spending his formative years in upstate New York. And if you know anything about him, you'll know he's a rabid Buffalo Bills fan. Tim is the son of Joe and Hugh Alcorn. He was the youngest of 5 children. His career started in the radio TV department at Lorain County Community College. Tim grew up in Grafton, and LCCC was the most affordable and accessible choice after graduating from Midview High in 1981. Actually, it started before that with the earliest iteration of College Credit Plus. He'd gotten a little taste of LCC still at Midview, because even 40 years ago, they had that program where you can take college classes while you were in high school. And speaking of which, I'd be remiss if I didn't congratulate the Uland winners who graduated this morning from LCC. Tim valued his time at LCCC, including, most importantly, meeting his wife Diane in speech class. After receiving his associate's degree in '83, Tim took his foundation to Kent State University to finish earning a degree in telecommunications. Having settled in Lorain County, he and his wife moved back, and Alcorn started his career at WOBL in Oberlin. In 1992, he transitioned to WEOL in Elyria. Tim joined the award-winning team at AM 930 WEOL as a play-by-play voice for high school sports broadcasts, as you heard earlier. Tim ultimately became the station's general manager in 2014. As a high school sports announcer, Tim has done thousands of local games, and many high school athletes can fondly remember the voice of Tim Alcorn and his very good friend, sometimes Joe Tate, calling their games. Tim brought listeners the Avon Lake State Football Championship, multiple softball championships from Elyria and Keystone. In basketball, he called countless high school games, none more exciting than the dazzling runs from Lorain High and Admiral King in terms of what you've seen in the video. 2018 was especially busy when Tim was honored to be along for trips to the state Final Four in both boys and girls basketball with Lorain and Elyria Catholic, respectively. Tim, along the way, befriended Joe Tate, the Cavaliers announcer, and following Joe's death in early fall of 2019, things changed forever for Timmy as he was announced to be the next play-by-play voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was a dream job, he says. I don't know if I ever really thought I would end up there as a young boy. I consider myself unbelievably blessed and unbelievably fortunate. The culmination of Tim's talent, dedication, and professionalism would carry him on to his dream job, where, to the surprise of no one who has followed his career, he has already established himself as one of the best at what he does. Now, we're going to have the opportunity to hear Tim tonight at 8:30. 8:30 is very key, inductees, as Cliff has assured me at that point the game will be on the screen, not you. With that, I'd like to call your attention to the screens for Tim Alcorn's acceptance.
Tim, if I can get you to come up and say a few words. This was done impromptu, so you wouldn't say a lot of words.
Yes.
But the first thing I like to say is welcome, Tim Alcorn.
Wow.
into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame, Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. Well, number one, a total surprise. Thought I was going out to lunch. So, yeah, so as a surprise, I certainly don't have any prepared remarks. Boy, what a trip down memory lane that was. And to see some of those highlights. But as I always say, you know, whether I'm here emceeing or now accepting this incredible plaque, I've never thought about it as what I do. You know, just watching those kids, watching Zion Cross and Devon Grant. I mean, it was always about just announcing and trying to describe what these incredible athletes are doing. So I just think I played a very small role in that. But this is quite an honor. This is incredibly humbling for me. You know, seeing the video with Joe. I remember the first couple of times. Again, I don't have any prepared remarks, so I apologize. I'm kind of.
We only allow certain people in here.
Hey, I'm giving my remarks, man. I'm giving my remarks.
I hope you are.
I am actually. Thank you.
Congratulations.
This is.
Everybody knew about it, but you.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah, I
yes.
guess so. Good to see you. Too. God bless you.
I just thought Larry Reardon was taking me to lunch, so.
What's wrong if he's taking you out?
So, before I was interrupted there by Cliff German, I was talking about Joe, and I was thinking as we were watching that I remember, you know, the first couple of Lorain Sports Hall of Fame banquets that I went to, and Joe was the MC, and I'd be sitting in the way back corner as a media member. And Joe would always announce the media members that were in attendance, and from WOBL at the time, you know, Tim Alcorn, and I just thought it was so cool that Joe Tate was announcing my name as one of the guests at the Hall of Fame banquet. So to have now followed him as the MC for Lord knows how many years until tonight, I guess I should say, as folks watch this. And now to receive this is just incredible. So, again, no prepared remarks. I'll just kind of say that Lorain Sports has always been incredibly special to me. Going back to Bob Quinlan with Sports Scene, and then Joe Bach, B-O-C-K, followed Bob Quinlan at WLCS, did an amazing job. And I think back to all the great athletes. Admiral King, Lorain, Southview, Lorain Catholic, Clearview. It's just been incredibly special to cover Lorain sports, and hopefully I'm not done. As I always say, when there's breaks in the schedule and our season, ours, meaning the Cavaliers, comes to an end, you know, if I can get some Lorain sports in, I'm going to do it. So, again, I don't want to stand up here and fumble and bumble, and there's other people to hear from. So, I am just unbelievably honored by this. I am incredibly honored and humbled. And so for those of you that did this in complete secrecy, I appreciate it. Hopefully the Cavs schedule will cooperate next year, because while I'm at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse tonight for Game 3, believe me, this event and all the great people here will cross my mind. So again, just wow. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Wow.
It's the time in the program where the Hall of Fame committee proudly inducts the class of 2024 into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. Tonight we will induct 6 athletes and 2 coaches whose athletic achievements have earned them recognition, and 1 team whose achievements brought fame to their school's football program. All these inductees were nominated by the general public, and with that, if you out there believe that there are individuals or teams deserving consideration for future induction, please obtain and submit a nominating application to the Hall of Fame committee. Every one of these people up here had to be nominated before they could be elected. So please, if you know someone deserving, go to the website and download an application. I suggest that you read the complete achievements of each inductee, which can be found in their biography in your program, because my introduction remarks are condensed and relatively brief. There's that word again. Before each inductee gives their acceptance speech, please turn your attention to the video screens where some very special people in the lives of these inductees will give a personal congratulations. The pins given to each inductee has been a Hall of Fame tradition for many years. So after my introduction of each in the class of 2024, you will see the inductee receive a lapel pin from their loved one. This is the official entry into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. In the regular category, leading off tonight, Jason Duvall, Lorain Catholic, 1993, Xavier University, 1997, baseball.
Hey Coach, you always have me focusing on the positives and flushing the negatives. Hopefully this will lead me to become an inductee like you one day.
JD, my man. Hey, there's no doubt you deserve to be where you are tonight. I'm really proud of you. It's been 30-some years since we run around on a baseball field like a couple knuckleheads. But anyways, the sports accolades are great, don't get me wrong. But what I think is a little bit more important is the fact that you are a first ballot Hall of Fame human being. What you brought to the field 30-some years ago, you still bring to the table today. You show up every day. You're all about work ethic, accountability. You lead by example. You come from a great family, the Duvall family. They're some of my favorite people on this earth. Of course, Mrs. Duvall was my third grade teacher. Anyways, just wanted to say on behalf of all of our friend group here in Lorain, congratulations on your induction to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame, and it's very, very much deserved. Thank you.
Coach Duvall inspires me and motivates me because one time I was about to go up to an at-bat, and he said, just sit down and slash out a strike. He said that because I wasn't doing too well, and I just needed to get a hit. And the next pitch, I had a home run, and it was my first ever home run. And if I keep working hard and taking advice from him, I'll make it far like he did.
Jason, as our son-in-law for going on 20 years now, you've always been a big hit with us. Not surprisingly, we now see that you've been the same for many others out there. So it's also no surprise that those persons have been just like us and found you to be more than just an all-star. Your outstanding personal qualities have brought you many rewards, which you very much deserve. Congratulations on the most recent of those achievements, your induction into the Lorain Hall of Fame. Stay the course. Keep up the great work in life.
Hi, Dad. We are all so proud of you. I inspire to be like you every day when I see how hard you work at the things you enjoy doing. Love you bigger than the sky.
Hi, Dad. I know you probably weren't expecting this, but I just want to thank you for being a great role model and kind of helping me through my baseball experience. Love you.
Congratulations, love. Very proud of you in this award and not surprised at all that you're getting something like this. Since we've met, you've been a very high achiever in going after all your dreams and have been very successful. Glad the kids and I are here to witness this and to hear more about the life before us and all that you accomplished then. So congratulations, and we love you.
My name is Kathy McFadden, and I would like to say congratulations to our son-in-law, Jason Duvall, for his induction into the Hall of Fame. And he is also a great husband, father, son, son-in-law, brother. He takes good care of all of us. And again, I just want to say congratulations, Jason. I'm glad you are part of the family.
Congratulations, Jason. You truly deserve this honor, and you were one of the finest young men in Lorain Catholic and on the baseball team. We truly enjoyed having you and watching you do all the wonderful things that you did on the diamond. With all the things we have, all the stats we have, we got 72 pages of them, and you are in almost all of them. You've done a fantastic job. Thank your mom and dad for helping you become what you really are, a wonderful, wonderful person. This honor is really yours, and you deserve it. Thank you.
Hi, Jason. It's your little brother. I want to congratulate you on your induction into the Hall of Fame. I've had the privilege of watching your baseball career literally my whole life, and I've been proud of you the entire time. The hard work that you put in paid off, and you set a great example for me for what it means to be dedicated to something and see it through. Congratulations, and I love you very much.
I never knew why this hung around the attic until today. You guys played like a bunch of savages and won the tournament in Amherst. Mr. Bakulich thought you would be an asset to Lorain Catholic Spartans. And as they always say, the rest is history. We were proud of you then. We're proud of you now. Congratulations, son.
Prior to high school, Jason stood out as an athlete within Lorain Youth Baseball, his junior high football teams, and the Tippy Insurance Travel Baseball Club. After his freshman year at Lorain Catholic, he gave up football to concentrate on baseball. Jason's baseball contributions were instrumental in propelling the 1990 Spartans to advance to Columbus and achieve a runner-up finish in the Division III state championship. For his offensive performances during the 92 and 93 season, Jason was recognized with Lorain Catholic's Golden Bat Award, signifying the program's Offensive Player of the Year. Jason was acknowledged as the Gold Glove winner for his defensive abilities playing center field for the Spartans. During his 4 years at Lorain Catholic, the baseball Spartans boasted a combined record of 62 and 18. The following summer, he played for the Lorain UPC travel baseball team and coached Adrian Abrahamowitz. He was approached by Xavier University baseball assistant coach, which led to Jason to accept an athletic scholarship to the Division I school in Cincinnati. A 3-year starter, Jason played 162 games during his career, logging 137 hits. He led the conference in triples and stolen bases. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jason Duvall into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
You know, I had some remarks prepared for this evening, and then after this video, I'm sitting here thinking, this is like a test to see if I'm going to cry in front of everybody. Because I'm not a big crier. But to hear those words from my friends and my family members really means a lot. Because everything that I wrote down on this piece of paper is about thanks and recognition to people that are in Lorain, the people that impacted my lives in Cincinnati, Kent State. That basically is a culmination of just getting to this moment right now. And the moment's not being inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is a fantastic honor. The moment is more just realizing that, you know, when you're a year from turning 50, you start looking back at how you got there. And sometimes you got there through God's grace. Sometimes you got there through luck. But more often than not, you got there because people were looking out for you. So with whatever time that I have left on this earth, and hopefully it's in good health, I'm trying to dedicate myself to giving back to people that just are in my orbit. A couple of young men that you saw on the screen at T3 are just the people that God has put in my path right now, and I know I get a little testy sometimes because it's, you know, you work 10 hours and you race home, you pack your car, you're trying to get to practice, and you got to manage through some things at home, and it can be a bit much. But at the end of the day, when you see those young men give you recognition on the screen and basically say thank you for everything that you've done for me, and it makes it all worth it. And you know, I don't even really even need to see the recognition on the screen, because I see them developing from boys to men. And yes, do I want them to be Division I athletes? Absolutely. If some of them could play in the major leagues, that would be awesome too. But if they just grow up to be members of the community that give back to the others and they try to invest themselves in the way that people have invested in me, that's the win. That's the win. And that symbolizes it is a bit Pollyanna, but it is what I think of when I think of Lorain, Ohio. There's one name that was mentioned on the screen, Adrian Abrahamowitz. I'm an older brother, and so I'm the one that's used to telling people how things are, this is how we're going to do it, et cetera, and my brother Brandon can attest to that. But Adrian was the one person in my life that would Bigfoot me the same way that I would Bigfoot other people in the same way, and I definitely miss him. But thank you to the committee. Congratulations to the inductees of this year. I appreciate this great honor, and I thank you all for being a part of a great evening. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Our second inductee in the regular category is J.T. Feldkamp, Admiral King High School 2007, Ohio Dominican University 2011, football, basketball, baseball. Jonathan J.T. Feldkamp was a tremendous all-around athlete at Lorain Admiral King, playing all three sports. He also received the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame J. Ed Uland Scholarship Award in 2007. In his junior year of football, he played both ways, starting defensive end and tight end. Head coach Mark Campo said JT was our most valuable player. He controlled both sides of the line of scrimmage. JT helped lead the 2006 Admirals to their first conference championship in 20 years. In basketball, JT was a tenacious rebounder. His defense, physicality, and rebounding ability earned him multiple WEOL War in the Paint awards. But it was in baseball where JT truly left his mark. He was one of the best ever to play baseball at Admiral King. In his junior year, he led the team in home runs and had a .365 batting average. JT had an even more outstanding senior season, leading the team with a .492 batting average. He led the Admirals to the LEL championship at 11-0 and an overall record of 22-4, setting a school record for wins in a season. He was selected first team All-Lake Erie League and LEL Player of the Year, first team All-County, first team All-Morning Journal, and the Lorain County Division I Player of the Year. He became the first player from any Lorain City school to receive the Lorain County Mr. Baseball Award. JT chose to play college baseball at perennial D2 powerhouse Ohio Dominican University for legendary coach Paul Page. He made the varsity squad his freshman year and won the starting catching position, becoming a 3-year starter. In his career at Ohio Dominican, JT made 123 starts and was a .316 lifetime hitter. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jonathan J.T. Feldkamp into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
I'm here to talk about JT Feldkamp. Was my privilege to be his head football coach at Lorain Admiral King. JT was the captain of our football team and just the kind of player that any coach would be happy to have on their team that you can count on. Didn't have to worry about him, line him up, and he was ready to play. The one big memory that I have with JT is when we went to Shaw the last game of the year. They were 9-0, ranked number 2 in the state at the time, and we were down by less than a touchdown, and it was late in the fourth quarter. We had a 4th and long situation, and JT ran a drag across the middle and caught a pass, and they hit him late out of bounds, so we got an extra 15 yards. But that catch ended up keeping our drive going, and we ended up scoring a touchdown and winning the game and getting a share of the conference championship. And JT was a huge part, not only in that game, but just with the team and with the program at that point to get the ball rolling kind of for us at Lorain Admiral King football at that time.
And JT was one of those kids. I told him one time what we needed him to do, and he got it done. There was never any questions, never any hesitation. He was a football player, and obviously his place in the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame, enshrined with all these other greats from the county, from the area here, is definitely deserving. So JT, from myself, everybody, all your former teammates, just want to say congratulations.
Congratulations, JT.
Hey JT, Coach Akesy here. I just want to congratulate you on your induction in the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame as an Admiral King Admiral. This is a very deserving recognition of your accomplishments and awards that you have received both athletically and academically. So again, congratulations. As coaches, we always preach being a competitor. Well, that was one thing that I never had to worry about with you. And as our catcher and our cleanup hitter, you led by example, and you definitely rubbed off on the rest of the team. So again, thanks for the memories. It was a joy coaching you, especially those years, those two teams that you were on. It was a lot of fun, and again, congratulations.
Same here, JT. It's an honor to have been involved with your athleticism and your athletic career. Really like the way that you've presented yourself within the community and everything else. It's a coach's dream to see athletes go on and play at the next level, and then to have you to come back and be a part of my staff over at Firelands was really rewarding for me. And congratulations on this award, very deserving. The one major memory of JT Feldkamp comes not actually on the baseball field of mine. Many of you were probably there on a Saturday afternoon football game that really brings back probably the big memory of JT Feldkamp, and I'll just leave it as that.
I remember hearing something.
Congrats, JT. Coming from a different angle, growing up and always being a little bit a year younger than you. Growing up around the corner and hanging out in Lakeview Park and playing Little League together and playing catch in the backyard with Mr. Feldkamp, and just looking at it at a different angle and being there and always looking up to you. Definitely well-deserved. Also hitting one behind you, always stealing all my RBIs. I felt like a second leadoff hitter. But definitely well-deserved, and congrats, man.
All right, JT. Hopefully I get revenge in the Ryder Cup.
JT, congratulations on your induction into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. This recognition is richly deserved. Today and every day moving forward, you are now an honored son of your hometown community. That is special, and please know how incredibly proud I am of you. Throughout your years at Ohio Dominican, you represented Lorain, your family, the university, the baseball program, and yourself with class and a determination to be the best version of yourself each and every day. Your years at Ohio Dominican were challenging as we transitioned from being an NAIA World Series type team to an NCAA Division II team. Through that time, you remained loyal, hardworking, and upbeat. Daily, you were excited, you were willing to listen, and as a result, became an all-conference player and the undisputed leader of our team. The day you arrived on campus at Ohio Dominican, you came with a value system instilled in you by your parents. Your discipline, work ethic, and respect for others are rare and a testament to their love and care. I can only imagine how proud they are of the man you are today. I understand you are now making a difference in Lorain. For those of us who know you, we are not surprised. For 5 years, you enriched ODU baseball, and today you continue to touch others in a positive fashion. How is success defined? Success is in the doing, not the getting. In the trying, not the triumph. Success is a personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us and becoming the best we can be. JT, in my eyes, you are a role model for success. Congratulations on this induction and the wonderful award you're receiving.
Thank you, everybody. First and foremost, I want to congratulate all my fellow inductees tonight. It's truly an honor to be up here with all of you. When I first found out about my induction, oh, am I not supposed to give the speech yet? Or I got to wait for Grandpa to come up? We'll wait till after? Okay. When I first found out about this, I was extremely humbled and honored, and then the panic set in about having to give a speech in front of 400 people. After about a week of being panicked, I thought to myself, JT did this 17 years ago when accepting the Uland Award. Just use the same speech. Nobody's going to know what you said. So I went and I looked up the video on the Hall of Fame website. Please don't look it up. It was about 30 seconds long, and I didn't look up from my piece of paper the whole time. After I looked at that video, that plan was out the window, and it was on to plan B. So here it goes. Thank you to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame Committee for all that you do to highlight the teams and great athletes from the city of Lorain. I grew up hearing stories about so many past inductees from my grandfather, Ron Feldkamp, and I'm truly honored to be joining them today. I had a lot of great coaches during my years at Admiral King. You saw a few of them up on the screen. Football coaches Mark Campo and Jeremy Wilt. Basketball coaches Mike Scott and Al Stacy. And baseball coaches John Agassi and Dan Ransom. I'd also like to thank Mr. Popio, who couldn't be here tonight, for all of his support throughout my high school and collegiate career. I didn't know he was going to be here, but I had a lot of stories and stuff written about my college baseball coach, Paul Page. The way we met was a little bit different. He didn't really recruit me. I was actually on my way home from another visit at another school when I met him for the first time. I was about a week before I was supposed to start my freshman year in college, and I had no idea where I wanted to go to school or what sport I wanted to play. We made a few phone calls, and Coach Page agreed to meet with us, and by the end of that meeting, I knew that I wanted to play for him. He challenged me every day for 4 years to be a better person and a better player. He had high expectations of his players on the field, but even higher expectations in the community and in the classroom. Then I coached with him, and he challenged me every day for the next 2 years, working one job and then showing up to baseball practice and not making a bunch of money to do it, but I loved every minute of it. Over 6 years, he taught me so much about the game of baseball, but most importantly, he taught me about professionalism, accountability, and leadership. Because I was so indecisive in high school, I might have missed out on a couple other opportunities at other schools, but looking back, I can't imagine a better place for me to go to school and a better person to have learned from. So thanks, Coach Page. I played with and against a lot of other great athletes in the city of Lorain, and I'm hopeful that more of them that are around my age get this same recognition in the future. I played 3 sports in high school, so I had a lot of great teammates. We all pushed each other to be the best athletes that we could be. We were extremely competitive, and we may have not always agreed or even liked each other, but when it came down to it, we had each other's backs. I was fortunate enough to grow up in the Lakeview Park area, and that's where I fell in love with sports. There were at least 15 kids in that neighborhood within 1 to 2 years old of each other. We'd meet at the park every day of the summer and play every sport you could imagine. I've maintained strong friendships with many of those guys that grew up in that neighborhood, and several of them are right over there at that table. Baseball was a sport that most of us grew to love the most. My senior year, most of the starters on the baseball team were the same guys that I grew up with playing every day in the summer. That team was one of the best teams that I was ever a part of. I received a lot of accolades for my individual stats, but I can't stress enough how good that team was. Our season didn't end the way that we wanted it to. We had high expectations and ended up losing in the first round of the playoffs. But without those experiences in my childhood and continued friendship since then, I wouldn't be the man that I am today. I'd also like to thank my friends that are here tonight who never saw me shoot a basketball, play a down a football, or swing a baseball bat. While you may not have had an impact on my athletic career, your support means the world to me. My wife, Carrie, falls into that same category. She's never saw me play a sport in the 12 years of knowing each other. But I just want to say thank you for all the love and support that you give me every day. For the last 12 years, I haven't had to question how you feel about me, and I love and appreciate you for that. Thank you to my grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. Thanks for being here to support me tonight and all of the love and support you've shown me my whole life. You've all made a positive impact on me, and I appreciate every single one of you. Mom and Dad, thank you for everything. You've always been my biggest supporters, and I don't thank you enough for that. Thank you for encouraging me to play whatever sport I wanted, whether it was soccer, hockey, swimming. Thanks for not putting that picture in the slideshow. Basketball, football, or baseball, you made it happen. Thank you for all that you continue to do for me, but most importantly, teaching me the importance of family and surrounding myself with great friends. There's too many people that have made an impact in my life to stand up here and mention them all, but there's one last person that can't be here today that I have to thank. The toughest person that I ever met in my life, the biggest motivation for everything that I do, my guardian angel, my sister, Alyssa Felkamp. Thank you.
Tonight's third inductee is Ryan McCartney, Admiral King High School class of 2003, Baldwin Wallace University 2007, tennis and distance running. At King, Ryan earned 4 varsity letters in tennis, playing #1 singles for 3 of those years for Hall of Fame coach Paul Falensky. During the course of his high school tennis career, he received 3 MVP awards, Morning Journal Players of the Week honors, and was selected as the Lake Erie League Player of the Year for his senior year. After high school, Ryan moved on to the next level and at Baldwin Wallace University. There he earned 4 tennis varsity letters and served as co-captain in his junior and senior years. After graduation, Ryan gave back to the sport he loved by entering coaching as the head girls tennis coach at St. Joseph's Academy and the head boys tennis coach at Westlake High School. After hanging up his tennis racket shortly after college, Ryan turned to competitive long-distance running. Ryan ran his first full marathon, 26.2 miles, at the 2010 Columbus Marathon, where he qualified for the prestigious Boston Marathon. Ryan has qualified for every Boston Marathon since, and is slated to complete, I believe it's over, has competed in the 2024 Boston Marathon, his 29th full marathon and his 8th time in Boston. After the birth of his daughter Daniela, Ryan started pushing her in a running stroller and even began competing in races with the stroller. I'm pushing the stroller, not competing with the stroller. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ryan McCartney into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Ryan, on your induction into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. You've always been humble, honest, and a person of integrity. You've been an amazing son as well as brother, husband, and father. Your training regimen has been unbelievable, how you've been able to put up with that and continue running your marathons. You are well deserving of this honor. Keep running, bud.
Congratulations, Ryan. Dad and I couldn't be more proud. We love you.
Good evening. I'm Ryan's older brother, Bruce, and I'm so bummed that I wasn't able to make it to the enshrinement ceremony this evening, but I wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate Ryan on being inducted into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. I'll never forget the day that my brother Kyle and I checked out of Admiral King, and snuck into the hospital to see our newborn baby brother. From that moment on, we knew he was going to be someone special. Ryan is a passionate leader, characterized by ambition, focus, dedication, and determination. Whether it be in a classroom, on a court, or on a course, Ryan has always risen to the top. But more important than scholastics and sports and statistics, his crowning achievement is the amazing man he's become. Hardworking, well-rounded, with unparalleled integrity, a loving husband to Jess, and an amazing and adored father by Daniela and Deegan. Ryan, we love you. We're so very proud of you. Congratulations on your induction to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. God bless you.
Thank you. I want to start by thanking the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame committee, as well as congratulating all my fellow inductees tonight. Not sure if I'm more nervous for this talk or the Cavs game at 8:30. It's very, very close right now. But with that in mind, I'll get it moving. There was kind of a moment in time where a switch was flipped for me, and it was a little bit later in my life. And I have to start by thanking my parents with that. It's really challenging to put into words their selflessness, love, and support to me throughout 39 years on this earth. I don't think they missed a single home tennis match in high school. I don't think they missed many in college, even traveling to some away matches. And to this day, they still show up at races to support me, even coming to Boston once. But it was their decision to send me to Lorain City schools, starting in high school, that really put things in motion for me. So thank you, Mom and Dad. The start of my journey in Lorain City schools, it really started a competitive fire in me, both academically and athletically. That's where my teachers and coaches come into play. People who were in this room, Paul Folinsky, Trina Folinsky, Bob Jones, Lanny Navarro, they really brought to light what I was capable of and really reminded me of what I still needed to work hard for to achieve. Mr. Folinsky, like I said, he's in this room. He may have been my tennis coach, from which I obtained a ton of knowledge and mental toughness, but what cannot be overlooked is what an outstanding educator he was, and I'm sure there's plenty of people in this room who can attest to that. To this day, I'm not sure I've ever seen a teacher have a better rapport with such a wide variety of personalities, so thank you, Mr. Folinsky. I want to give a special recognition to Lanny Navarro, also in this room. He's kind of showed me the importance of commitment to something you believe in. And that was never more evident than in my second semester, my junior year, where one of his courses did not fit into my schedule. And I just figured, well, I'll just take it next year. It is what it is. And he was willing, without me even asking, to let me do an independent study with him where he was giving up his planning period, giving up his time before school, even teaching me at George Daniel Field while he got ready for track practice. Just unbelievable level of commitment that I can't imagine I would have gotten anywhere but in Lorain City schools. I want to recognize my college tennis coach, Brian Rector, who could not be here tonight due to a conflict. Brian was hired as the Baldwin Wallace tennis coach, I think a year or two after he graduated, being a standout in the program. He always found a way to lift you up, and I would run through a wall for that guy. I gave it everything I had with him for 4 years, and even got to play some doubles tournaments with him after college, some of my favorite tennis memories. And last but certainly not least, after tennis, my attention turned to long-distance running, and that's where I found my true love in more than one way. At first, running was just to stay in shape when I needed a break from tennis. I was gotten out of college. I was kind of sick of it. I needed to stay in shape. So I started running. And then it developed into a lifestyle, like a sacred experience that I feel so blessed to get to do every single day. So at that point, the competitive drive and the discipline that I feel like was instilled in me by my teachers in high school intensified. But it wasn't until I met someone really special that I kind of learned what I was able to do. And that person is my wife, and in many ways, my running coach, Jessica McCartney, who's right here next to me. Upon getting to know her a little bit and getting to know each other as runners, she's also a runner, she did something that she still does to this day. She told me what I was doing wrong and what I should be doing instead. Turns out she was right. She pushed me to challenge myself. She pushed me to think bigger in terms of my goals, and she pushed me to be relentless in my pursuit of them. And she kind of created a monster in that sense, but I'm very grateful for that. I would never be able to train the way that I do without her support, and I know that she knows that support is mutual. As you'd expect with 2 young children, training is a lot more challenging. Running is a pretty demanding sport if you want to keep up with it, but we've both gotten tougher thanks to our love and support. So thank you, Jess. In conclusion, the underlying theme here, I think as everyone else has said, is thankfulness. Without the guidance of parents, teachers, coaches, and in my case, my spouse, being here today would not be possible. I will never overlook that. So thank you and congratulations to all the other inductees.
Tonight's next inductee is Jeff Perkins, Southview High School class of 1982, Akron University 1988. Football, powerlifting, and college rugby. You have no time limit. Jeff was fortunate to be born with athletic skills, coordination, speed, and strength, but his most valuable attribute was his dedication, desire, and work ethic. Training was a year-round process for Jeff. After high school football season, weight training would begin, and he entered powerlifting competitions for motivation to help him train harder for football. Jeff won 2 state powerlifting championships, and since he set 2 state records both years, he was awarded the MVP. Jeff never lost a powerlifting meet during his high school career. Jeff began his rugby career playing during his senior year at the University of Akron. He quickly became a starter at wing for the prestigious Akron men's team. He was practicing with some of the best players and coaches in Ohio and the Midwest region. His first tournament, the Ohio Rugby Championship, Akron qualified for the Midwest tournament for the first time in club history. They beat Nashville, Louisville, Middle Tennessee State, and Nashville again to secure an invitation to the National Club Championship in Milwaukee. Akron made the final 8 teams in the country that year. Following fine performances in Ohio, Midwest, and national tournaments, Jeff was chosen to play on the National All-Star team. Later that summer, Jeff was asked to attend a tryout for the U.S. National Rugby team, but was forced to decline to work commitments. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeff Perkins to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
Hello, my name is Hondo Rodriguez, and Jeff Perkins, or Perk, has been my best friend since kindergarten, and we had the opportunity to work together for 35 years. What can I say about Perk except wild, crazy, poised? This motto was instilled in us early at Southview our freshman year. Jeff was very wild, very crazy, and very poised, well, most of the time. And now I'd like to add a couple more words to that wild, crazy, poised motto is loyal, intelligent, dedicated. I'm very proud of you, Perk, and I'm very happy that all your hard work and dedication has been recognized. I love you, brother.
Hey, Perk. Coach Warmbird here. Just want to congratulate you on being inducted in the Lorain County Hall of Fame. Great honor and one well-deserved. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have won. I know we wouldn't have won going to the Midwest Champions and then going to Nationals 3 years in a row, 87, 88, 89. The one thing I remember in particular was down in Louisville. I believe it was the second year. You hadn't had a rest the whole time, the whole tournament, and I know everyone was tired. And I remember you getting the ball on the outside, had a break, and were able to turn it into a try that won championship down there and took us off to nationals. That was a great try that I remember. Also want to say that it was a pleasure coaching you, and the fact that you never put yourself ahead of the team. It was always about team and nothing else, and that was a great attribute you had, and I really appreciate that coaching you. Want to congratulate all the other inductees, and hope you have a good evening, and I also hope to see you Memorial Weekend at the Akron All Boys. Cheers to you, Perk.
Hi, my name is Rich Monroe, and I'd like to congratulate Jeff Perkins, aka Perk, on his induction into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. I played rugby with Perk in the mid to late 80s, early 90s for Akron Rugby. Perk was always an inspiration to his teammates for his hard work and practice, which translated to him being one of the best rugby players in the Midwest and the nation. Akron Rugby won 3 Midwest championships in the late 80s. One of those championship wins, Perk was named MVP of the tournament. Rightfully so. He dominated the competition like he often did. He was the fastest, hardest hitting player I ever played with or against. I always felt we had a good chance of winning with him on the pitch. Congratulations again. Love you, Perk.
Okay, how you doing, Jeff? Jeff, I just wanted to say congratulations on being inducted into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame, and that you were always one of my favorite players that I ever coached in powerlifting or football. And buddy, I'm so proud of you. You had the balls of the bull in the day, and you still do today. And congratulations again, Bubba Boo.
Jeff, congratulations on becoming a new member to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. What an accomplishment. Being your younger brother, it's always been a treat watching you compete. I can remember when I was about 10 or 11 years old, a rugby match that was at Akron Hoban High School. And I remember you pretty much body slammed a guy, which was kind of cool. That's probably the best memory I can remember of you playing rugby and so forth. And not only a great athlete, but as an older brother, a great role model, in athletics and then in life. So thanks for that. If you were a knucklehead, I probably would become a bigger jackass than I am today. But thanks, and once again, congrats.
Wow. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for my induction today. Congratulations to all the other inductees as well. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my friends, my family. My dad has come to this event probably 8 to 10 times in his life. He always sat in the back. Pop, I got you a front row seat. This is where my story begins. Lorain, Ohio, South Lorain. Good old Southview High School, good old Oakwood Park, Homewood Park, ice skating, sledding, swimming, slow pitch, softball games, fast pitch diamond. If I saw the lights on from my house, I'd run over. We also had flag football, watch Bubba play a few games there. It was awesome. If you wanted to go watch sports, Homewood or Oakwood Park, 24/7, you could go there and all the time. It was awesome. So Lorain, the international city. We had diversity built in Southview. It was awesome. Couldn't think of a better place to be born or a better place to grow up. It was tremendously amazing. We were all brothers, friends, and competitors. I'm going to make a list here really quick of my coaches chronologically. I wrote them down because I can't forget anyone. Kevin Jacobek, Jim Perkins, my dad, Ron Kritz, my second dad, Dave Pascovan, Chuck Fortney, Bob Walsh, who's sitting over here, Chuck Bryant, Brad Frank, Bob Karras, Ron Fields, Steve Linway, Bill Trimble, John Bazowski, George Simonovich, and Larry Stark. Quite a few Hall of Famers on that list. The last two were very influential in my success in being inducted today. Coach Fred Warmbrot, who you heard from, is a legend. He's played rugby for probably 35 years and coached for 40. He's a legend in both the Midwest and in the U.S. One of the funny things was after practice, Coach Warmbrot comes to me and he goes, "Hey, Perk,
You got any more athletes like you from Lorain? And I looked at him with a straight face and I said, yeah, lots. And that is the truth. Then the second one that I'd like to recognize is my coach, Corey Cunningham, who was not only my football coach, but was my powerlifting coach, and he coached me in football or weightlifting from the age of 15 to 34, 33. So here's a story about Corey. Corey was a standout football player at Lorain High, and he was playing a game against Sandusky, and he was pretty much having his way with Sandusky. During the game, Corey got hurt and broke his leg, and he was forced to be removed from the game. So Corey, they took him off the field. A few minutes later, the coaches are like looking around and go, where's Corey at? Corey's back in the game. And the coaches called him over and says, Corey, what are you doing? He asked if he could still play until the ambulance got there. True story, and you want to talk about tough, that's where you get your toughness, from your coaches and your teammates. So Corey, no excuses. Perk, no excuse ever. So there were no excuses with him as your coach. And he helped me and the other coaches. All were a huge, huge influence in making me who I am today. Those people shaped me. So I had teammates who were brothers to me, and coaches were like parents. They cared, and they were tough. And when you're surrounded by great athletes, it makes you better. Every day you're competing in practice, because if you slack one day, your buddy who's behind you is taking your place. In Lorain, it was, I didn't take it easy on anyone. They didn't take it easy on me in practice. There was no days off. So my teammates, like Rick Kritz, 1982 Uland Award winner, competed against him every day. Hondo Rodriguez, all-county safety, competed with him every day. Casey Sawensky, good friend of mine, shooting guard on the best basketball team Southview High School ever had, regional finalists in 1981. You competed with those guys every day. If you slacked off, you were second team. No slacking. Sports were important to many of my teammates, and for some of my teammates, sports were the only reason that they went to school. They wanted to stay eligible. They said the only reason they went to practice and went to school was to stay eligible so they could play football, basketball, run track, or wrestle. So it was very important to them. Just one little quick side tidbit for us. Our Saints, Southview Saints defense, our senior year, we had a nickname for ourselves. We called ourselves the Puerto Rican Rush, the White Knights, and the Soul Patrol. And it was very, very, if you saw our team, you go, right on. So I always wanted to play football after high school. I had plenty of offers for D3, but the one thing, I wanted to be an electrical engineer more. So I made that my goal. I always worked hard to be the best that I could be in anything that I was doing, and one thing that I always did is I made the most of my opportunities. So that's one thing that I had going for me. My city, my school, my coaches, my friends, the city of Lorain, I couldn't wish for a better place to grow up, and I'm glad my parents moved there, because this is a great city, and I thank you. Is it the reflection?
The last inductee in the regular category is Matt Rossitano, Admiral King High School 2000, Bowling Green University, basketball, football, baseball, and now a baseball coach. Before I read you a little bit about Matt, I'm going to take a moment for myself. Bruno Rossitano, would you please stand up? Bruno's Matt's grandpa, and he turns 93 on Monday. And there's nobody in this room prouder than Bruno. He's trying to figure out how to get even with me. Matt Rossitano was a three-sport athlete at Admiral King: football, basketball, and baseball. During his senior year, he was the team captain in all three of these sports. For the basketball team, Rossitano usually drew the toughest defensive assignment. Thanks, Uncle John. As the quarterback on the football field, he holds numerous Admiral King football records, which include most passes completed, 157, most passing yards, 2018, most passing touchdowns, 18, and most yards from scrimmage, 3,035. As you will see in the video, Matt's performance against Toledo Libby also saw him break two school records. One was for most touchdown passes in a game, 5. The effort gained him national recognition as he was featured on ESPN's nationally televised Scholastic Sports America. As a center fielder during the baseball season, Matt was selected to numerous first teams, which included First Team All-Ohio. Rossitano gave opposing pitchers and catchers fits. His senior year, he batted .425 and had a .588 on-base percentage. Once on base, though, he really gave them fits. He had 76 consecutive stolen bases, still an OHSAA state record. After high school, Matt continued to play baseball at Bowling Green State University, where he was a member of the 2002 MAC championship team. Matt is currently head baseball coach at Amherst Steel High School. He is in his 12th year with a 203-89 career record. In 2018, he was named the Ohio Coach of the Year. That 2018 team also finished the regular season ranked #1 in the state. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Rossitano into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
All right, from one NFL quarterback in the state of Ohio to a high school quarterback in Ohio, our honor roll athlete, Matt Rossitano. He's a member of the National Honor Society, and at the same time, he's rewriting record books in the state of Ohio. SSA reporter Katie Pollock has that story.
This week's feature honor roll athlete is brought to you by milk with 9 essential nutrients. Got milk?
Matt is a co-captain and second-year starting quarterback for Lorain Admiral King High School in Ohio. In the opening game of the season, Matt threw for 5 touchdown passes, breaking the school record of 4 TD passes in a game, which was set in 1971.
The first 3 drives of the game, I didn't have an incomplete pass, and I know the first 2 drives of the game, I had touchdown passes, and so my confidence was up right off the bat. And as the game kept going, I didn't have an incomplete pass until 2 minutes left in the first half.
We are very proud of Matt. Yeah. We're proud of him just walking on the field and being the team leader.
Nothing he does much anymore surprises us.
Matt says his main motivation when he steps on the field is to win.
I love leading because as a leader, people look up to you, and that's just basically my natural. It's just constantly being a leader. Anything I do, I try to take charge.
Since Matt's outstanding first game of the season, he's attracted attention from some Division I football programs, but the 3-sport varsity athlete had already been recruited to play baseball in college.
Which is your favorite?
Baseball. Definitely baseball. Because I'm probably going to play college baseball, and I think baseball is my best sport. I'm very fast, and my athletic ability helps me out in center field.
We think of Matt kind of as our Kenny Lofton. He's our center fielder. He's our leadoff hitter. Right now, he's stolen 34 bases in 32 games and hasn't been caught yet.
Matt's friends say he's an all-around guy, good at sports, a wonderful friend, and an excellent student. As a sophomore, Matt was one of about 10 students selected for National Honor Society and needed at least a 3.8 grade point average just to be considered. He's still a member of NHS and somehow manages to make time for everything.
Matt's an ideal example of what we strive for in our athletic program. and that is to stress both the academic and the athletics.
As he takes this year to decide where he'll go to college, being at the top of his class will only increase his choices.
The grades is the first thing. Any college coach comes around and says, how's his grades? That's the first question. Now, anybody can say, hey, this kid has a 3.7, and you know he's doing great in school.
Without a doubt, Matt enjoys everything he participates in. For SSA, I'm Katie Pollard.
On behalf of the Amherst School District and the Athletic Department, we'd like to congratulate you, Matt, on your induction into the Lorain Hall of Fame. What a tremendous honor for you and your family. So proud that you are one of our coaches, and just really excited for you and your family. Congratulations, Matt. Enjoy your day.
I have not seen that video in a long time. First, I want to make sure I thank the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame Committee for this prestigious recognition. It's truly an honor and a humbling experience to be inducted here today with all the great athletes, men and women, that came before me, that are here today, and that will come after me. My dad was a three-sport athlete at Admiral King 50 years ago. I'm dating him, 50 years ago. And, you know, being able to look at some of his old pictures and hear some of his old stories, you know, I wanted to follow in his footsteps and make him proud. What I wouldn't learn until much later in life, that it didn't matter what I did. You know, if I scored 20 points or didn't score, if I threw for 300 yards, got sacked every play, if I went 4 for 4, struck out 4 times, my dad and my mom were just proud for me just being out there and being a team leader. They instilled in me the love for playing the game, the passion for competing. I was lucky enough to be able to play for my uncle, John Rossitano, basketball, who obviously many of you know, who at points can be intense. And summer baseball for my dad, who was my summer baseball coach pretty much from the time I could hold a bat until I was 18. And, you know, they taught me how to play the game the right way, how to play the game hard with passion, to compete at a high level no matter the circumstances. I was always held accountable and had to earn everything I got. You know, they kind of instilled in me that I can't stand losing. I hate to lose. I hate losing more than I enjoy winning. I have a 6-year-old niece who loves to play games. She'll want to play Uno, Mario Kart, Candyland. I don't let her win because I don't want to lose. She may have cried a few times after I beat her. I'm not ashamed because I'm not losing. Just saying. You know, growing up when you're playing youth sports, being inducted into any kind of Hall of Fame is never in your mind. You're just playing because you love to play. You love your friends. You love your teammates. I think one of the big, you know, beneficiaries for me was we always played, kind of like JT said. When it was nice out, we were playing. You know, my buddy Paul's over there, Richie, Leva, I see Scrofano over here. We played. You know, we would all get on our bikes, ride to Old Columbus Park, which was basically my grandpa's backyard, and we would just play baseball. And if we didn't feel like playing baseball, we would go to somebody's house and play basketball. If we didn't feel like playing basketball, we would go somewhere and just play football. And if we didn't have enough for 2 teams, you would just figure out rules as you went. You know, pitcher's mound poison, right field's and, you know, opposite field is a foul ball, whatever it did. And, you know, we just figured stuff out on our own, and that made us, you know, without supervision, that just made us better athletes and better competitors. Sometimes being a 3-sport athlete in high school was tough. You know, there would be days in the summer where at times you would have football, lifting, and conditioning first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. You would play a baseball game in the afternoon and then have a summer league basketball game at night, all in the same day. But, you know, I wouldn't have had it any other way because I just loved to play anything. And, you know, my parents were completely supportive of it, and I'm sure they racked up some gas miles getting me to everything. I would like to thank my high school coaches, Tom Steiner from football, Jay Pickering, baseball, and obviously my Uncle John for basketball for giving me the opportunity to play and excel and learn from them. I want to thank my family for all their support throughout my playing days. and now my coaching days. I'd like to recognize my sister Lynn, who pretty much got dragged to all my games, and I'm sure she didn't want to be there. I also, where's Ferg at? You took away my thunder because I was going to do the same thing for my grandpa's. But yeah, obviously my grandpa who would come to every practice, every game. Still now that I coach, and when my uncle was coaching, he comes to every practice, every game. He'll ride the bus to away games unless it's a Thursday, because that's when he plays cards. But yeah, he comes to everything, and I think we keep him young, because he's going to be 93 on Monday. I think he's the healthiest guy I know, probably in our family. Obviously, I want to thank my dad, who has been, so monumentally influential in me, not only with sports and coaching, but with life. And I can't thank him enough for being hard on me growing up. However, it's a nice twist now because now he's my assistant, so I can boss him around, kind of. And of course, I'd like to thank my mom, who she passed away about 6 years ago. I got it. And I'm sure she's here somewhere watching. With all the great coaches that I've played for and gotten to coach along, she gave me probably some of the best coaching advice ever. For football, it was pretty much just stand up after every play, which was always a good idea. And for baseball, she always just told me to get on base. And that's what I was able to do. And I'm sure if she was here, she would probably enjoy this more than anybody. Thank you.
Our next inductee comes to us from the senior category. The senior category is available for any nominee 65 years or older. Previous names for this category have been the pre-1950 and the old-timers category. As Vic Guerreri said on his induction, at least it's not the deceased category. I prefer to think of it as, how hasn't this already happened category. The senior in this category is George Furlick, Admiral King High School, 1965, University of Dayton, basketball and football. George Furlick attended Admiral King from 1962 to 1965. George's size and versatility allowed the football coaches to use him as defensive tackle, offensive center, middle guard, and long snapper. He was the team's workhorse. Coach Pete Risen said this about George. After getting his block on the line of scrimmage, he would get downfield and get another block, sometimes even a third. I didn't know how good a game Furlick played until after I saw the film. George received All-Ohio second-team offense honors along with All-Buckeye Conference first-team offense. He was named to the Plain Dealer Dream Team. He continued his football career at NCAA Division I University of Dayton. Not only did George make an impact on the football field, he was a force to be reckoned with on the basketball court. As a junior, he led his team in scoring and rebounding with 241 points and 151 rebounds in 18 games. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that George comes from a Hall of Fame family. Both of George's daughters have been previously inducted into the Hall of Fame for their volleyball excellence both at Lorain Catholic and in college. First was Marin in 2015 and then Meredith in 2017. What is not strange is that both of these ladies credit much of their early athletic success to their father, George. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome George Furlick to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
Being the first grandchild, Nana and Papa didn't miss my sporting events, and even with 4 additional grandchildren, they rarely missed. It's not unusual for live sports to be on at family dinner on Sunday nights. It's pretty cool to be watching NFL and Papa points out a coach on the sidelines and says, "That's my coach from Dayton, Tom Mora, 4-time Super Bowl champion. Papa, you are our champion. Congratulations on your induction and endless support in my sports journey. Love you, Papa."
My grandpa has been a huge role model for me in my life. Not only was he an amazing athlete, but now he gets to teach his grandchildren how to be the same. It's clear his love for sports has been a lifelong passion, and he's rarely missed supporting me, even as he has 4 other grandchildren to support as well. He gives us the best advice to help us succeed in our sports, and as we succeed, he's always there to cheer us on. I'm so proud of my grandpa for getting the recognition he deserves. Congratulations and love you.
Congratulations, Papa, on your induction. We are very thankful you are involved with us. You have taught me how important family is through memories and family vacations. You have inspired me to continue my education in engineering. I'm looking forward to see you in the stands with Nana at my hockey and volleyball games. Thank you for showing me how to handshake. Love you.
Congratulations on your induction, Papa. We're so proud of you. Thank you for always being there to support me and our family and all the sports that we played and everything that we do. We love you.
Papa, you are very deserving of this induction. Your contributions to the teams you played on are admirable. Playing football at Division I college is not easy. Putting up the numbers on the basketball court with no three-pointers and drawing thousands of fans is impressive. I can only imagine the athlete you were as you are still competitive today, challenging us to do plank contests. I truly appreciate you and Nana traveling near and far to support me on the ice or at the baseball field. Love you, Papa. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all the inductees. It is an honor to be celebrating you tonight. Dad, we couldn't be more proud of you and your accomplishments. I always knew you were an athlete, but never really understood the impact you made until the boys and I read the newspaper articles and compared the game you played to the game that is played today. One thing we learned about you that still is true today was quoted in an article that you seem to always be in the background, humble and a workhorse. Not only were you my strength and conditioning coach, but also my pitching coach and catcher, basketball coach, and biggest fan along with Mom. You were always thinking of ways to challenge us to be better, because that is what you did for yourself. It was the basketball rim for you and the nails in the softball for me, among other plyometric gadgets you built. Now that I am raising athletes of my own, I am hopeful that they will appreciate the subtle nudges that I give them, knowing that it made a huge impact on me and my success, and I just want the same for them. I can't thank you enough for pushing me when I push back. I understand much more your intentions. Back then, everything was just fine. In addition to your dedication to athletics, your faith is something I have grown to understand and admire. From your early morning prayer routine to always finding a church to attend on Sundays, no matter where we were. Dad, thank you for all that you have done for me, but more importantly, our family. You are the best dad anyone could ask for. I love you, and I will never forget your rise and shine morning wake-up calls.
Hi, I'm Marin, George Furlick's daughter, and so proud to be here to congratulate him on his induction into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. I remember learning about my father's athleticism as a young kid and being utterly convinced that he was the George of George Daniel Field. That was a place we passed often in Lorain, going to Grandma and Grandpa's. Sports has always been something that's been at the heart of the Furlick family. I think it was certainly my parents' platform in which they showed us so much support and love, where they taught us lessons like working harder, reaching our goals, never giving up, and learning how to be leaders. So I'm really grateful for that. My dad was my strength and conditioning coach. He was my plyometrics instructor. I spent lots of time on cinder blocks. He spent a lot of time with a timer in his hand. And I'm telling you what I wouldn't do for this as a kid and still as an adult. Looking up in the stands and seeing that meant the world to me. So Dad, thank you for everything that you've invested in us. Thank you for being one of my biggest fans my whole life. And congratulations. We're really proud of you, always have been, and we love you very much.
All right, you guys, this is for Grandpa. Let's get it together. We can't spell ogre. It's George. Where's my other G? Where's my other E? How's it look, Meredith?
Looks good.
Take it away, Mom. Greatest husband.
Encouraging.
Outstanding playing champion.
Really good at football.
Greatest of all time.
Excellent engineer.
Way to go, Grandpa.
We love you.
I thought it was kind of rough before with all the people that came in front of me and all the things that they accomplished. That was a little tough to follow, or very, very hard to follow. I would like to thank the Sports Hall of Fame committee for selecting me for this honor, with Steve Dury also, and Mike Turbovich for feeling I qualified for induction a few years ago. People who were important in my sports life were my mother. She was the chauffeur. She took me through 2 games at Admiral King from South Lorain. And my father was my equipment manager. My dad took down and replaced my rim on the garage 3 times. I couldn't jump up and pull it down, but it seems like every shot I took weakened it a little bit more and more. After welding it 3 times, I asked him to take a few inches off the rim and to shorten or close up the rim so that I could shoot better free throws. It worked pretty well. My dad also took a small transistor radio. If everybody knows how small a transistor radio was, he took it to work on 3 to 11 shift and followed my games till the end. My football coaches were Don Fritz, Ralph Pisanelli, Kurt Calamari, who called me Ironhead. I thought it was meant that I was very tough. I realized later I must have made a whole lot of mistakes. My basketball coaches were Al McConney and Elmer Myers. Pete Risen, who showed considerable interest in me and wanted to know if I was interested in college football. Without his interest, I probably would not be here today. I would like to share this honor with all of my teammates. Being the center didn't get much recognition, and either did the guards and tackles. So I hope that they are all well and feeling better every day. Someone once told me that team was not spelled with an I. I believe this. I now have this is the good part, because everything that was set up there is on this piece of paper. I now have a team of my own. Head coach for 50 years and 10 months. But who's counting? My wife, Lorain, a very good athlete who now plays tennis and golf and has a very good swing. I wish I had it also. My 2 daughters, Marin and Meredith, both in the Hall of Fame as volleyball players. Their husbands, Jay and Chris. My grandchildren, Anderson, Brendan, Cooper, Cecily, and Layton. They all played some sports. The girls not hockey, but otherwise. Volleyball, baseball, and tennis for Amherst High School. They all have the seasons covered. Cecily is following her mother's footsteps, playing volleyball at Bowling Green. Anderson played hockey for the Cleveland Barons and will play hockey in Texas for the Amarillo Wranglers. I didn't know there was so much ice in Texas. Looking forward to many more years of bleacher butt. Thank you to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. I am truly honored to be here today with all of these great athletes. Thank you. I think that was within the 5 minutes they said I had to talk.
Okay, back there, it's time for the Clearview portion of the program. Wake up. The next two inductees were selected from the special category. The special category was designed to honor a person who contributed to sports in a more unique way. Usually the person is a coach or an official, but Hall of Fame has inducted persons who were team doctors or trainers, even one person who had sponsored adult sport teams year after year. These inductees tonight were both highly successful coaches at Clearview, one in basketball and the other in football. Tonight's first inductee in the special category is John Sally, Clearview 1975. Heidelberg College, 1979, Clearview basketball coach. John Sally emerged as a force to be reckoned with, etching his name into the archives of Clearview sports history. As a starting point guard in the 1974 state championship basketball team, he led his squad to glory, showcasing his leadership and court vision. Sally consistently earned recognition as a first-team All-Conference in the Lakeland Conference, first-team All-Northeast Ohio District player. His skill and determination secured him a place on the Lorain County All-Star team and also All-Ohio Special Mention. John was no less outstanding as a varsity football letterman. He was a key contributor to the 1972 state football runner-up team. Sally continued to play basketball at Heidelberg College. His dedication exemplified the true spirit of scholar-athlete, and it was this dedication that set him on the path to becoming not just an exceptional player, but an extraordinary coach. For an astonishing 3 decades, John Sally served as head boys basketball coach at Clearview High School. His remarkable career includes 3 district titles, 8 sectional titles, 14 conference titles, and an overall coaching record of 401 wins and 266 losses. His accolades as coach are numerous, with 7 PAC Coach of the Year titles, 10 Lorain County Coach of the Year titles, and 2 District Coach of the Year titles. He is also, I've never met anyone who didn't like John Sally. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Sally into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
Hi, Dad. You are one of the most deserving people of this recognition. You have always set the example of what it means to put your heart into the things you love, and with that, great things come. You've shown that with being a coach, you've shown that with being a teacher, and most importantly, you've shown that with being a father. So many congratulations and thank you. Your girl loves you.
Congratulations, Dad. What a special honor to be inducted into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. You couldn't be more deserving. For me as a kid growing up, to be along the sidelines with you as a water boy and then a player and then a coach has been a great honor. Times that I'll remember with nothing but fond memories. You're special to us. You're the best father we could ever ask for. We're proud of you. Cherish this moment. Enjoy it. We love you.
Love you.
Well, it's a great pleasure to take this time and have the opportunity to recognize John Sally for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Well deserving. If you think about basketball at Clearview, and my personal opinion is that there are two great coaches. The program was first, and the person that I had the opportunity, Bob Walsh started it, and John Sally was able to continue, and that's important for any program, and he did an excellent job of continuing that program, taking it to heights, and you can't say enough about him as a coach. He is well respected by his peers in the county, and when I think about John Sally, I kind of think about one thing: he's a gentleman and a class act. And if you know John Sally and watched him when he coached, you have to appreciate the fact that he is a class act, and Clearview certainly hit the jackpot when he was made their basketball coach, and continue what I think is one of the best basketball programs in the state, and he's in great company. He's a class act, well deserving, and God bless him too. He deserves this.
What do I say about John Sally? Exceptional person. Very unbelievable kid. He's exceptional at everything he did, but he never said a word. In other words, you told him what you wanted, he went out and he did it. He was the easiest thing to coach because all you had to do was tell him what you wanted. He was exactly what that team needed to pull it together. Well, the story about John, well, we were in the middle of an Amherst game, and the officials really, well, you know how I and officials get along. Of course, I wasn't too happy with what they were saying, so bottom line was I complained a little bit, and then I complained a lot, and then I finally threw my towel, which I always had in my hand. I threw it out on the floor, and John calmly and coolly walked back down to the middle of the floor, picked up the towel and wiped his hands off real nice, and walked back over to the bench and handed me the towel. Of course, what he didn't know was the referee was right behind him with a technical foul. So that's probably the best story I have about John, because he ad-libbed that so well. It was unbelievable.
Oh, wow, I know what you guys meant. That's really special. Thank you to Lorain Sports Hall of Fame for this tremendous honor. Thanks to Tony Melendez for nominating me. I'm really grateful, humbled tremendously, and honored. And to be inducted on the same night as my good friend Tom Hoke and the 1972 Clearview football team just makes this even more special for me. When I learned of the election to the Hall of Fame, my thoughts went directly to the people that helped me get here. Coaches use the word "we" a lot. You know, we didn't rebound well, or we defended well tonight. They don't really use the word "I" that often. And when I think of the word "we," I think of the amazing people that were part of my team, my "we," both on and off the court. I've been blessed with just an amazing group of people. And, you know, coaches like, you just heard Coach Ross and Coach Walsh, administrators like Mike Collier. You know, these are people that make Clearview special. You hear them over there, and I'm so glad they're here tonight because they make me feel a lot more comfortable. And of course, my family. You know, you don't get to this position without them. But the biggest thing about a coach is you don't get here without great players. And I was blessed with a lot of great players, and many of them are here tonight. And if they wouldn't mind, I'd like them to stand up and be recognized, please. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. Assistant coaches help a lot. You know, I was an assistant for many years, and I learned a lot. One of my former players was also a great assistant of mine, Rob Collier, and he's here tonight, and I learned a lot from Rob. And, you know, I just appreciate him coming here tonight with his brothers, Don and Mike. The Collier family has always been very special to me, and I appreciate them being here tonight. I'm very proud of the fact that I coached my whole career at Clearview. To be honest with you, I was raised a Clipper. My mom and dad dedicated a lot of hours to the school. They took me to games ever since I could remember. I remember being at the game where Roy Froggy Davis scored 57 points against Midview with Coach Walsh coaching. I remember watching Dirk Warden on the Clearview football field. And then when it was time for me to become a Clearview athlete, which I admired Clearview athletes, many of them growing up, I was blessed with great teammates and great coaches. If you want to learn to be good at something, you should study the people that are great at it. And yeah, I went to clinics and read books and did all that. But I had the honor of knowing great coaches here in Lorain, Hall of Fame coaches, coaches that, to me, were as good as you could find anywhere. Coach Rossitano. You know, I coached against Coach Rossitano, and I learned. You learn when you coach against teams. And yeah, obviously he's a great coach. Coach Gillum. I remember jogging up to Lorain Admiral Keene on a Thanksgiving Friday vacation or something, and the door was propped open and the basketballs were bouncing. They didn't have alarm systems back then. He just propped the door open. And I said, that's Coach Gillum. I'm going to sneak in there. And I went and sat in the corner of the gym. He saw me. Coach Rossitano was an assistant then. And I thought, oh, he's probably going to ask me to leave. But no, he didn't. You know, he allowed me to stay there. And I learned. It was like being at a clinic. You know, I learned from Coach Gillum. I saw Coach Reichert and his Lorain teams, mostly in the Shot Palace, where my brother would take me to the games. And I was just amazed by all of them. Coach Lawhead. Everything he talked to me about, I was like a sponge. You know, just soaking it all in. And he was also very, very humble and very helpful to me. And Coach Stark. My very first game was against Southview. Coach Stark was coaching, and I was taking over a 2-18 basketball team. And I must have looked as nervous as could be, and I'm sure I was. And Coach Stark takes the time to walk down to the baseline where I was watching my team warm up, and in his unique tone of voice, he said, "Will you just relax?" I don't know if I ever did, but you know, what a cool thing for Coach Stark to do. And of course, my coaches, you know, Coach Ross, Coach Hoke, Coach Brazina, Coach Novak, and of course, Coach Hammond, and ended up being my brother-in-law, and of course, legendary Coach Walsh. I learned so much about basketball from Coach Walsh. He's like a father to me. I've told him I loved him, you know, many times, and I just can't tell you how much he means to me. And being his point guard on a team was like kind of being an apprentice for a coaching job, because you learned about the game. And, you know, as a point guard, you kind of had to think like the coach was thinking. And I like to shoot like anybody else, you know, but Coach and I came to a conclusion that we might be a better team if I passed the ball to these two players. I don't know if you ever heard of them, Larry Harris and Larry Fortner, two All-State Player of the Years and members of the Hall of Fame. And you know, Coach Walsh was right. We were a lot better if I passed the ball to those two guys. And winning the state championship was something that I cherish, tremendously. Coach also taught me how to communicate with players, 1 through how many, 15, 14, whatever it might be. Everybody played a role. Everybody was important. And yeah, the high scorers get the articles and stuff like that and the accolades, but teams don't win without other players playing their roles. And I try to remember that when I became a coach. And, when Mark Vieta and Rob Corey and Benji Hammond, we started to turn the corner, with the regional finals, and we started to, get the program back to where it was. And that was so important to me because the Clearview job was my dream job. That was my Duke, my UCLA, my Ohio State, whatever you want to say. That's where I wanted to be. So, when I told Chad the other day, when I quit coaching, that if my players could think of me the way I think of my coaches, Coach Walsh, Coach Ross, then I know that I did well. And he presented me with a book, my son, and a lot of the players wrote me notes in the book. And that made me feel like, I was able to do that. So, I just love that I still have that communication with my players. If they see me at the store, hey, Coach Sally, and being called coach is really a great thing. But being called Dad and Papa now, that's really special too. So I've been blessed. And to be able to coach in a gym named after my parents, the Frank and Ann Sally Memorial Gymnasium, not because they donated money, but because they cared. They donated time. I wish they were here today, but I feel confident that they're proud of me today, and that's really important to me. I was able to coach nephews, Jeff, Chris, and Benji Hammond, Scott and Danny Roner, and Dylan Redmond. And they kept me as coach. His coach here and Uncle John here. And their parents did the same thing. And that was very special for me, too. And, like I mentioned, my family, my mom and dad were always there for me. My brother Frank, my sisters Susie and Mary. Mary is here today again showing her support. My sister Susie and my brother Frank, I'm sure have always been looking down at me from heaven when I coach, and I put it on tonight. I got my little angel in here knowing that they were looking out for me. My brother Frank and Susie especially would also try to help referees out. If they felt they weren't calling the game right, and they were quite vocal supporting me. But I want to thank my sister Mary's husband Dan for being here today, and Rocky Hammond representing Susie, and Barb Sally representing my brother Frank. The biggest thing that I want to say is I got to thank my family. My wife let me coach football and basketball for over 40 years. And every time I'd pull in the driveway, I was hoping my clothes weren't thrown out on the yard. But she stuck with me. My son Chad, it was just an honor to be his coach. First of all, because he was a great player. But he was a great person, too, respected by his teammates. And I have some of my greatest memories watching him play at Clearview and being able to practice with him every day. He mentioned being a water boy. And of course, his career at Heidelberg College as well. My daughter, Jenny, has always been my girl, my number one supporter. Even at age 1, the Journal published a picture of Jenny crawling onto the court in the middle of the game. And we must have took her eye off her my wife must have took her eye off her for a minute, showing her support. And my nephew Scott was pulling her back off the court. And my wife Tammy, she was my cheerleader in high school. We met as 16-year-olds. She continued to be my best cheerleader throughout my coaching career. She's always been my top assistant. That's something Coach Walsh mentioned about his wife, Maureen. That was his number one assistant for all those years. And Tammy was the same for me. She baked thousands of brownies for the kids. Matter of fact, Mark Vieta asked her if she brought any tonight. She welcomed our team into our house for holiday dinners, and she was always there for me, and she kept me grounded. Because coaching can be overwhelming sometime, and you come home and you're up in the middle of the night, or you're complaining or talking, I could have did this, I could have do that. And she always said, hey, just move on. Next games, every game's different. And so she was my grounder, and kept me grounded. In ending, I just want to share a quick story about Tammy. Towards the end of my career, where Coach Walsh came and actually was my assistant. Can you believe that? He sat next to me on the bench, and all I know is some people said, hey, you're getting quite a few wins. And all I know is after Coach Walsh came and sat by me, I had 400 wins. Figure that out, right? There's no secret to that. But when it was time Tammy said, it's kind of time to maybe give someone else a chance. And I said, I understand. You've been very patient. But Coach Walsh has this nice watch, and it's got 400 on it for 400 victories. And the state gives it to you when you get 400 victories. And you know what Tammy said? John, I'll buy you a watch, and we'll engrave 400 on it. Well, I got the real watch, okay? And Tammy didn't have to buy that for me. But congratulations to all the other inductees. Thanks again for this honor. Thanks for your attention. I'm trying, all right? But I'm done, and God bless all of you. Thank you very much.
The second special category inductee also comes from Clearview and is also one of those "how hasn't this already happened" nominees. He is Tom Hoke, Strongsville High School 1966, Findlay University 1970, Bowling Green University master's degree, Clearview football coach. Tom Hoke's legacy is nothing short of legendary. His 27-year tenure at Clearview High School, spanning from 1970 to 1997, is marked as a period of unprecedented success. He and his team captured 2 Lakeland County championships in '79 and '80, despite competing against schools much larger in size. Tom earned 9 Coach of the Year awards, as voted on and awarded by his fellow coaches in different conferences. His record was an impressive 142, 50, and 3. Coach Hoke led Clearview football team to an astounding 10 Ohio playoff appearances. That they started with 4 in the playoffs, including a state runner-up finish in 1978. In 1986, he had the honor of coaching in the state of Ohio's North-South All-Star Game. Tom Hoke served as a game director for the Lorain County All-Star Game, and in 1998, he was honored with induction into the Ohio High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Tom Hoke's influence extended far beyond Clearview as he assumed leadership roles, including being the president of the statewide Ohio High School Football Coaches Association. Tragically, Tom's life was cut short doing what he loved. On a fateful night in 1997, he suffered a heart attack at halftime during the season opener against Cleveland East Tech. Dory Hoke, sons Brian, Aaron, and Andrew, accepted a declaration from the members of the Clearview Board of Education officially dedicating the football complex in his honor as Tom Hoke Field. Please welcome Tom Hoke to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
It's an honor for me tonight to introduce Tom Hoke to the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. Tom was a tremendous football coach and athletic director at Clearview and meant so much to his players and really the entire Clearview community. Tom was a very humble man, very successful, winning many conference championships, making the football playoffs year after year. I know one streak was 6 years in a row. But Tom was more than a successful football coach. He meant more to his players and his coaches. Tom was a coach of mine, and then I was privileged to be on Tom's football staff later when I started teaching. And Tom always made everyone feel so important. And he made coaching fun. On Sunday nights, we would all meet at his house to make our scouting report for the next opponent. And his wife, Dory, would invite us into the home and cook us a wonderful supper every Sunday night with the staff. And he just made you feel welcomed and appreciated. I can't really say how many players were touched by Tom. He made everyone feel important, whether they were the star or whether they were on special teams or whether they were just starting out for football for the first time. I never heard anyone say a bad word about Tom. I have to tell a story about Tom just to show you how humble he was. One night after a big victory, we came in the next Saturday morning for our JV game, and I got there early, and I go into the locker room, and Tom is sweeping out the locker room, cleaning up from last night. Didn't have to do that, but that's the type of guy he was. The other good story about Tom, and he loved to laugh, and he tells his story and laughed every time he told it. Tom's first year of being the head coach, his very first scrimmage was an early Saturday morning at Edison High School in Milan. And everyone was getting on the bus. Tom was in his office getting ready. And his longtime friend and assistant defensive coordinator, Marv Hoagland, was running a little late that day. So he drives up to the school, parks his car, and goes directly to the bus. He goes and sits on the bus, and the bus driver asks, "Are we ready to go?" And Marv said, "Yeah, I guess so." So the buses take off, and Tom walks out of the office and looks and sees the buses traveling down the parking lot. So they left without him. So Tom got in his car and drove to Edison, laughed about it, didn't say, "What's the big idea?" Just laughed about it and made it a good standing joke with everyone. But again, I can't really say enough about Tom and how privileged I was to know him as a friend and as a coach. He taught me so much, and it was my honor to be an assistant under Coach Hoke. So with that, I want to say God bless him and his family. Congratulations. He's more than deserving. And it's, like I said, it's an honor to have known him, and it's an honor to present him tonight. Thank you.
Well, it's really an opportunity for me to recognize somebody that I am very familiar with, Coach Tom Hoke, being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I had the opportunity when I decided to retire. I kind of asked and was given the permission to go ahead and recommend to the board who would replace me. I would really appreciate the fact I could do that. And as I looked at my staff, I wanted to stay within the staff. We had established a very strong program, came back from some difficulties and put the program together, and it was important for me to find somebody that would continue to do the things that we were doing, and not only that, but take the program to new heights. So Tom Hoke was a pretty easy choice for me. When I looked at the staff, I felt that he was the one that I wanted to replace me, and I made the right decision, obviously. When I think about Tom Hoke, I think about somebody that I'd like my son to play for. I kind of look at that in coaches, and that's just something that was pretty important to me. So Tom was one of those individuals that you class act, somebody that you wanted your kid to play for. But Tom was the offensive line coach, and we played smash mouth football. We liked to run the football, and to do that, you have to have an offensive line. And Tom Hoke was responsible for that. Did an excellent job, and I think that's one big reason why we had a very good running attack. So I'm sure his family is very proud of him, his wife, his children. And Tom Hoke gave it all. And I mean all. And he deserves this honor. And just God bless Tom Hoke.
I wish my dad could be here tonight, but you have to settle for me. I'm Aaron Hoke. I'm his middle son. On behalf of my mom, Dory, my two brothers, Brian and Andrew, we want to say thank you for this amazing award. We want to say thank you to Lorain Sports Hall of Fame for this induction, and a special thank you, I know, to Mike Collier, who was a big part of getting my dad nominated, getting him into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. And I also want to say congratulations to all the other 2024 Hall of Fame class. 142 wins, that's how many wins my dad had as head coach of Clearview. That's still 6th most wins in Lorain County. His coaching journey started in 1970. He was part of the 1972 state runner-up team that's going to be honored here shortly. And his head coaching journey began in 1978. He won 9 conference championships, went to 10 playoff appearances. He was 9-time conference coach of the year. When I was growing up from 1985 to 1996, the most games Clearview lost in a season was 3 games. I grew up thinking you didn't really lose in sports. Did not prepare me to be a Cleveland sports fan, but kind of spoiled me growing up, thinking that you always just won in sports. So they were one of the most consistently winning teams in the county. So my earliest memory of Clearview football, I was 5 years old. 1988, I still remember this game. We were down by 5, 95 yards ago. We just got pinned back with a punt. I was at Wellington. I remember I've watched the highlight probably 200 times. Derek Grayson dropped back, hit Imez Levitt down the sideline. 95 yards, team went wild, crowd went wild. And that was the first memory I have of Clearview football. It was still one of the greatest plays in Clearview history. And it exemplified, I think, one of the defining traits of my dad. The first trait I want to talk about of my dad was trust. He trusted his players. He trusted so many great players that came through Clearview history. I can't name them all because there were so many of them, but so many great players he had trust in. And not just his players, but his assistant coaches as well. And I want to mention 3 specific coaches that on Sunday nights, they were over our house every Sunday night during the football season. They're kind of like extended family during the football season. And that was the late Marv Hoagland, Marv Hishmay, and John Sally. All 3 were like, when I was growing up, they were the main assistants. There was the 4 main coaches that were at Clearview, my dad and those 3. And my dad had the utmost trust in those 3 coaches. And that was kind of the first defining trait of my dad, was trust. A second trait that my dad embodied throughout his coaching career was humility. I remember every year he'd do the preseason interview on a house phone, and I'd listen in and be the nosy kid I was, just listening to what he was talking about. And every year it was, he'd praise the players, he'd talk about it, how great his opponents were, but he never took the praise for himself. And the formula at Clearview was simple: is run the football, play great defense. And you'd never hear my dad bragging about that, boasting about running through opponents. He would always choose sportsmanship. A lot of times he'd run the clock out, take a knee. Even when I was younger, I wanted him to score as much as possible, but he'd run the clock out in the game. He always demonstrated sportsmanship, demonstrated humility. and he got the best out of his players. And I feel like that was a trait that really endeared him to a lot of his players and helped to get the best out of every single one of them. Third characteristic I want to talk about with my dad was his calm competitiveness. I know my dad was competitive and hated losing. Trust me, he handed it down to his 3 sons. We hate losing too. But at the same time, I never remember my dad going crazy on the sideline or very often on the sideline. And if he did, it was always a ref's fault. It was never anything of him. So I didn't witness him in his early years of coaching, so maybe he was a little crazier then, I don't know. But I always remember being amazed at how composed he would be on the sideline. I remember in 1993, I was a water boy on the sideline. It was a playoff run there in the second round of the playoffs. I was 10 years old. They lost the tough game, 21-14. I still remember the game. I probably had tears in my eyes on the sideline. But I look over at my dad, and he's, I'm sure, frustrated inside, but he's demonstrated the ultimate classiness and defeat. Always an amazing role model for all those players, demonstrating a calm demeanor through adversity. And I think that helped define my dad's coaching legacy as well. One last characteristic, I couldn't really put it into one word, so it's kind of characteristics that I wanted to talk about with my dad. Is his caring, compassion, and kindness. It was hard to put that into one word, so I used multiple words just to exemplify what a great human, not just a coach, that my dad was. In the days following his passing in 1997, and many years that have followed since, I've had numerous people tell me what an amazing man my dad was. I've heard other stories as well. My wife, who I've been married to 11 years, she's come across people here and there that knew my dad. Every one of them has told her what a great person my dad was. I've never heard anybody really say anything bad about him. So this is probably these traits, I guess, are the traits I'm most proud of with my dad. And unfortunately, he passed away way too soon. And I know his accomplishments are why we are here tonight. But at the end of the day, the impact that my dad made in his lifetime is so much more important than any coaching accomplishment to me. He demonstrated his love of faith, family, and football, and the way he lived his life. Everyone who's ever coached knows the true importance of caring, supportive, and an understanding spouse. And I want to point out my mom, who was there every step along the way, from cooking meals for Sunday night coaching meetings to taking the lead at home, while my dad was focused on football in the summer and fall, never wanting any recognition. I'm sure she doesn't want it now. She's probably mad at me right now for saying anything, but she truly walked hand in hand with my dad, exemplifying the same traits of caring, kindness, and compassion. So I just want to finish up with, at the beginning of my speech, I pointed out my dad had 142 wins as football coach at Clearview. I've come to realize since that he's had a lot more. The number of lives that my dad impacted throughout his career is probably in the thousands. In my mind, each one of those lives that he's impacted is a victory. That it might not be listed in the record books, but his legacy will carry on throughout many generations. So I want to just thank you for this honor, and have a great night.
For the team category, we will honor the Clearview 1972 football team. era, starting in 1972. Clearview's 1972 team is probably the most deserving. That Clearview team ended up second in the state of Ohio in their division. Fans that remember the game know that Clearview dominated Marion Pleasant, but the game was decided on 2 long fumble recoveries for touchdowns, one on the last play of the game. An old sports adage goes, quality players make for quality teams, and great teams produce great players. The 72 team had its share of great players, as evidenced by how many are inducted already in the Hall of Fame. Besides those players that have individually been honored, the team was made up of numerous other players who all made significant contributions. Every player on the roster deserves the recognition to be honored by induction in Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. Let's take a look at the video and try to remember some of the great moments from 1972.
The Lorain Clearview Clippers come out on the field now in a rounding round of applause. A good crowd on hand here. Pretty nearly full stadium. And we just overheard somebody say a little while ago this place has only been full twice. Once in 1929, I believe, when they opened the field here. And I don't know when the other date was, but it's pretty close to being full right now today. Boy, what a nice crowd on hand here as the Clippers come out and take their pre-warm-up exercises. 8,500 seat capacity here at Selby Field in Delaware, Ohio. Across the way, just about the only thing we can see is red and black. The Pleasant Spartan colors, as the press box here is mainly filled, or the press box side mainly filled with Lorain Clearview rooters and participants. Excellent day for football and the first ever state championship, football championships in Ohio.
Burrow, wide receiver to the right. The eye behind quarterback Larry Fortner. Hitchens and Jenkins back there. Here's the snap and the toss. Out comes to Jenkins, rolling to the right side. He's back to the 11. He gets up to about the 14-yard line. Dumped out of bounds by Scott Ballinger right at the 14-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. It will now be 2nd and 7 for the Clippers of Lorain Clearview. It's the eye behind Fortner. Here's the snap. A handoff to the tailback Jenkins. And Quick Boy breaks up across the 22-yard line. And it's the first down of the ball game for Lorain Clearview. The Clippers pick up the first down. Tight. Fortner, the quarterback, with the eye behind him. Gets the handoff to the fullback Hitchens, and this big fan Hitchens gets up across the 30, up to about the 34-yard line. And then on the stop was Randy Cleveland for the Spartans, but not until he picked up 7 big yards on the play. Fortner against the 5-man line. The snap makes the handoff. Now the toss out. It goes to Jenkins, working out to the left side. He's got enough for the first down as he gets up to the 42-yard line. Receivers, Merle to the right side. The eye behind Fortner. Here's the snap. And the handoff goes to the fullback up the middle, up across the 50-yard line is Don Hitchens. Hitchens with a big gain on the play and a surprise play as they drove him right up to the middle. The stop finally made by Mike Wallace of the Spartans, but not until he gets into Spartan territory. Down to the 49-yard line of the Spartans. They say down to the 48, and that's the 4th first down for Clearview. Mike Ballinger with the eye behind him. Here's the snap sweeping out to the left side. The toss out comes to middle, and he gets up to the 20-yard line before he is dropped. And on the stop was number 75, Bill Mann. Also in on the stop was Guyton, Ray Guyton for Clearview.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 1972 Clearview football team into the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. Would all present members please come to the podium to receive your honors? Speaking for the team tonight will be Bill Naum, Tim Beklowski, and Todd Bemis.
Old friends, old friends, sat on a park bench like bookends, the newspaper blown through the grass falls on the round toes of the high shoes of the old friend. Old friends, winter companions, the old men, lost in their overcoats, waiting for the sun. The sounds of the city sifting through trees settles like dust on the shoulders of the old. Can you imagine us years from today, sharing a park bench quietly? How terribly strange to be 70. Old friends, memory brushes the same, silently sharing the same fear. Time it was, and what a time it was, a time of innocence, a time of confidences. Long ago it must be, I have a photograph. Preserve your memories, they're all that's left you.
I didn't think the emotions would come back after 50 years, but seeing that, wow. On behalf of the 1972 Clearview High School football team, I want to thank the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame for this honor. We also want to congratulate the other inductees who have been enshrined tonight. While I have not seen many of my teammates since graduating, I have and always will have a special bond with them for what this team accomplished. Most, if not all, of our games during the 72 season, we had the smallest number of players, and in many positions on the field, our opponents were bigger, stronger, and faster, except for Otis. No one was faster than Otis. But we played as a team and never wanted to let down our fellow teammates. As the saying goes, we left it all on the field each game, which which resulted in what I will always remember as a magical season. In winning many games, many of us never thought we had a chance to win, or many others never thought we had a chance to win. As a result, I am proud of the fact that the 1972 Clearview football team was the first team from Lorain County to represent the city of Lorain in the county in the Ohio high school football playoffs. We won as a team, and although we were the better team in the 1972 final game on the field of Ohio Wesleyan, we also lost as a team. For those who attended that game, I know you share my feelings that we were the best team that day. For those that did not, simply look at the stats. How fitting that Coach Hoke has been enshrined tonight. He was the offensive line coach for the 72 team. We had the honor of being one of the first teams that he coached after graduating from college. Coach Hoke knew how to get the best out of each of us playing on the offensive line. Somehow he knew when to praise us for a job well done, but more importantly, when to kick us in the butt and push us to work harder to improve our skills. He made me the best center at Clearview, ever. I know there were better centers that were there for me, and many came after me, but my mom, Tim and Billy, always told me I was the best center at Clearview. So I'm going with that. We would never have been the team we were without Coach Ross. Thank you, Coach Ross, for believing in us, caring about us, and pushing to make sure we always felt we were going to win if we played as a team. I have carried your life lessons with me since 1972. My sincere thanks. Thanks to all my teammates for the great memories from the fall of 1972. And one last time, down them britches.
Folks, I just want to tell a personal story real quick. 2 years ago, I went through the Lorain Hall of Fame. I saw a display up for the 1959 undefeated Clearview team. 1959. I was born in 1955. I looked at the players in the picture, and I looked at the names, and here's this 12-year-old kid at the end of the line as an equipment manager. And I look at the name, and it's Bob Nom. That's my brother. So my brother made it to the Hall of Fame 16 years before I did, and he never played a down. Okay, I kind of talked him into putting that song on. That innocence and confidence is what I wanted to talk about real quick, because we had the innocence, but we had the confidence. That's what made this team so good. Everybody had confidence in anybody that was on that line or in the backfield. You knew they were going to do the job. We trusted each other, we trusted the coaches, and we trusted ourselves. That was the main thing. We were all friends. Believe it or not, in 1970, you're never going to see this one again. In 1970, the Clearview team went 3-3-3. And I was a sophomore on that team, and I can tell you that that was a team of individuals. Like somebody mentioned before, there's no I in team. Well, that had a couple I's in that team. The next year, we went 3-6. And we had a couple good players, but we didn't have any superstars. Then our team, in 1972, we had 6 superstars and 20 stars, 20 guys that could have been a star on any team in the county. Although our 6 guys that are superstars helped out an awful lot, everybody on that team did their part, and I think that's what made the team so good. We didn't want to let each other down. We just wanted to play as hard as we could. If we screwed up one play, you know you're going to hit somebody twice as hard on the next play, or vice versa. Somebody's going to come in and pick you up. I want to thank the coaches again. Dudley Lettle, I haven't seen in 50 years. I know that he was coaching in Canada for a while, then he moved and retired to Florida. That's the last time I saw him. Bruce Fanning, I know, was in Florida. Of course, we know where Tom is. Coach Oak's right here. Mel Jones, I found out just a couple of days ago, passed away 2 years ago. So we're coming and going quick, like the thing said. Who would imagine us years from today? It's 70 years old. So all I want to say is that, we had a scrimmage. We had a scrimmage against ourselves. That's how we practiced, if you guys remember that. We had the right side of the offense scrimmage the left side of the defense. That's how we practiced, because we didn't have enough guys to set up an offense and defense. So we were always playing the best team in the county. No matter what, if you were on offense or defense, you're still playing the best team in the county, and that's how we got so good doing that. And the other thing that made us so good, Otis, One thing that made us so good was playing on that practice field 4 days a week, practicing on that practice field, because it was nothing but dirt and rocks and glass. And if you looked really hard, you might find some grass there. But that's what our practice field looked like. And that made us tough too. So again, old friends, just like that song said, preserve your memories. That's all that's left you. And thanks a lot.
A clipper was a type of mid-19th century merchant sailing vessel designed for speed, and clippers were generally small and durable. Another defining feature of a clipper was a captain who had the courage and skill and determination to get the fastest speed possible out of the vessel. Our coach and the captain of our ship was Wayne Ross, who truly is one of the greatest multi-sport coaches in all of Ohio, and he is already a member of the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. He led us by his constant role model nature and strived to make each and every one of us the best person we could be. We were young and didn't understand what was really going on at the time, but he is the epitome of the term tough love. Just ask my kids. To this day, I am able to face what life may bring on a daily basis because the toughness and never ever quit attitude he instilled in us. He invited each and every one of us into his own family and into his home many times, and his wife Joni and son Jeff became part of our lives. Their son, Jeff Ross, was our team manager. He idolized all of us and became a hard-nosed, tough-as-nails football player, an accomplished musician who I had the pleasure of sharing the stage with many times. Coach Ross would push me to the edge of my patience and breaking point, and Joni would be there with kind, encouraging words and a cookie. Wayne Ross's determination and instincts as an educator gave him the ability to fulfill his own dreams, and he continued to go on to become the superintendent of Clearview Schools and the superintendent of Lorain County Schools. And Clearview was the smallest school under his direction, go figure. We have remained friends through the many years, but I still get a bit nervous and awestruck every time we see each other, and I think I still make him a bit nervous too. Every student, player, co-worker, and community member who has ever been lucky enough to have their lives touched by Coach Wayne Ross's leadership skills and passion is a better person to this day, and we all now understanding the true meaning of self-sacrifice, teamwork, and tough love. There is no greater proof of this man's coaching legacy than to have one of his teams, our 1972 team, one of his staff, Tom Hoke, and one of his many Hall of Fame players, John Sally, being inducted here tonight. Our role model and friend for life, Wayne Ross.
Can't stand behind the scene. Get next to this tall guy. Put a tall guy right there.
Otis, don't go anywhere, Otis. Congratulations to all the team members, all the inductees. As we get ready to close, I'm going to ask Mike Smith to come up and wrap things up. But I just want to warn you all, if you know, there's a lot of wonderful athletes up front here. And if you want to see what good athletes are under pressure, when this banquet ends, we've got people up here that have been drinking pitchers of ice water and sitting without a bathroom for 3.5 hours. So beware.
I think Jay was talking about himself. Our next scheduled event is our golf outing on July 13th. There's information on page 58. That'll be July 13th on a Saturday. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for attending, and happy Mother's Day.
And now I'd like to call on Otis Jenkins for the benediction. Did I lose him? Oh, there he is. Tried to save you some steps.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Well, let's give everyone in here a nice round of applause. It was very beautiful. And as a preacher, I was looking at my phone, and my pastor didn't ask me to speak tomorrow, so I got a 2-hour sermon if y'all want me to give it to you. Will that be all right? I'm a preacher. That's what I do. I preach. But the cab's on, so give God the glory for this day. Let us close out. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come again to say thank you for what we have seen and what we have heard. But Father, I especially want to ask you to give us traveling mercy, that we all may return home safe and find our home still a house of safety. And then, Lord, when it's all over with, said and done, we're going to still give you the praise, we're going to still give you the glory, and we're going to still give you the honor. Because I found out in my life you are worthy to be praised. And I'm here today to praise you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen, and thank God.